Hello everybody, what is up, fight fans? Mike of Fights with Friends. It is Bellator 231. Couple of UFC veterans, couple of UFC heavyweight, former UFC heavyweight gangsters up in this on Bellator. And I tell you what, I don't know if you guys seen pictures of Frank Mir this week, but he's looking like he's on all the supplements. I'm not judging. I don't know. Maybe he's clean, but I don't ever remember Frank Mir looking ripped like he did at the weigh-ins before this fight. And unfortunately for Roy Nelson, I don't ever recall him looking like he is in worse shape. And he's always carried a lot of extra weight. You all know that. But this is going to be an interesting one, though. Tonight, Roy Nelson versus Frank Mir. Jake Hager is in action. Phil Davis is in action. Ed Ruth is in action. And tomorrow it is Roy McDonald versus Douglas Lima. 2. What's going on? 7 in the house. Let's get this. Commercial 1, Mike 0. I like it. I'm from Ellen. What's going on? 1982, J Dig in the house. Yeah, I saw those weigh-ins. Jake Hager, what? Oh, yeah. What is going on with that? That guy is a maniac. Looks like a friggin' maniac. Am I wrong? But, let's talk about something. CJ Smith, you in here, CJ Smith? We were going back and forth. We were talking on Twitter. And, of course, you guys can always hit me up at FightsWFriends on Twitter. What's going on? At FightsWFriends over there on Twitter. Oh, excuse me. But, what's really going on there is I changed the image over there to UFC 242. Picture of Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, and I know everyone is waiting to find out what's going on with Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, and I really thought coming into it tonight, I thought I'm not going to have any answers for you guys because nobody knows anything. And then something dropped in our lap. Didn't drop for long. My B-Day, January 16th. What's up, Dave? Yes, big night for Penn State Wrestling. Both Phil Davis and Ed Ruth are fighting. Yeah, that is. And Ed Ruth, I think he's going to have a little bit of a coming out party tonight. We're doing main card later, UFC main card later. I'm going to be at work, man. I wish I could be. Not sure if I should wake up early for it. Yeah, I hear you, man. What's up there, Nelson? The Roy Nelson versus Frank Mir is tonight. Yes, and it is on DAZN. And also for everybody that hasn't seen, good to see you, Theron, by the way. And David, it is on DAZN and it is on the Paramount Network over there on cable. So that's a positive. Who do you think Conor McGregor will be fighting on January 8th? I hope, if the MMA gods are good to us, I hope it's Justin Gaethje. I'd be okay with Dustin, the rematch with Dustin. I'd be fine with that. But I would much rather see Justin Gaethje. And Gaethje thinks he's in line for a title. I haven't heard that from the UFC, though. I have not heard that from Dana White. And so it's hard to really say what they are thinking. And I have no idea. But if you put a number one contender spot up for that shot with Conor McGregor and Justin Gaethje, then you have the guarantee. You have another big fight. And look at this. You know, I mean, Khabib's not going to fight until after Ramadan. You're looking at April, I believe. So I do not think the UFC is going to let that lightweight division go dormant until then. If Conor will take the fight, Rob. Ferguson is getting next dibs on gold. Yep, I'll tell you personal experience meeting Frank Mir. I met him before the Fedor fight. He's usually wide and thick. He's a big dude. He's always been a big dude. I know that. But he looked like he had abs. That's pretty cool. You got to meet him. I might have to go to some of these damn Bellator fights just to get closer to the fighters. Because the UFC's really been blocking us out. Anybody who's been to a UFC event lately, I don't know if this was because of the Boise security. That was the last one I was at, Boise, Idaho. Because usually I'm here with you guys. But Junior Dos Santos was actually trying to come over to the crowd, and they were stopping him. It's I didn't like that too much, obviously. Anthony Garrett making his way to the cage right now. Anthony Garrett taking on Jack Hager. And this guy, I did some research this week for some of these guys. I want to say that Anthony Garrett is... Sorry, guys. I want to say that he is a two-time veteran of Ryzen. I think he fought one night. I believe he fought twice last year in Ryzen. And, of course, he's going to be fighting a guy nobody's any stranger to here. Especially if you're in the wrestling world. Jake Hager, of course, better known as Jack Swagger, if you're over in the wrestling world. And I don't know if that's allowed, but if we're allowed to call him Jack Swagger, but I'm going to call him Jack Swagger anyways. And here he comes down to some Soundgarden. Both times he's been in the Bellator cage. Of course, he has won with the head and arm choke. Jack Hager, for those that don't know, he's actually a pretty decorated wrestler from his college days. So, if you didn't know, now you know. And those guys are intense. Ortiz and Santana, the support group there for Jack Hager, who, of course, now, for wrestling fans know, he is fighting over an AEW, not the WWE. But Jack Hager, he's here right now. We're going to get into, I have not heard any update on JDS's leg. I do have an update on Nate, several updates on UFC 244, Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. We're going to have plenty of time in between fights to talk about that, though. Right now, we got Jake Hager, 2-0, 37 years old, 6'5", 249 pounds. Anthony Garrett, 4-2, 29 years old, 6'5", weighing in close to the heavyweight limit. Guys, I got to tell you, Jack was a massive favorite coming into this fight. He was like one of the biggest favorites. I want to say he was like 9-1. This guy he's coming in against, I mean, I don't know if anybody bet on this, but Anthony Garrett, he's 4-2. He's got 3 of his four finishes in the first round, 2 knockouts and a sub. And he has some substantial MMA experience, both in amateur and then in professional. Fought over in Ryzen. I believe this guy I'm thinking of, he's got 2 wins. Had 2 wins in one night over in Ryzen. Out of the red corner at 2-0, they call him Jack Swagger. The heavyweight contender, Jake Hager. Referee tonight is Dan Mergliotta. Against Lionheart, Anthony Garrett. And here we go. I didn't get the fight clock up in time for last round because it's kind of hard to judge when they're actually going to come in the cage sometimes. But maybe that means this won't go past the first round. Jack Swagger moving forward, lands a straight left. Garrett immediately body locks. Jake Hager, of course, I mean, he is an animal in the grappling game. He's got great wrestling. Both of his wins so far have came by head and arm chokes. Garrett by decision for this one. I want Jake to win, though. Still worrying about the UFC 244 card. I got some updates for us in between fights, Rodney. There's going to be I'm going to fill those damn commercial breaks. I've got news pretty much, I think, to fill all of that. So Hager has got Garrett up against the fence, landed some knees. Oh, there's a big knee to the body, 2 big knees to the body. If you're following along, I got 3:55 right now left in the first. 3:52, 51, 3:50. And there you go. And Garrett pushing Hager up into the fence. Hager moves it around. Garrett lands a knee to the body and a straight left, and they're back to the center of the cage. Nice left hand there from Jack Swagger. 3:35 left in the round. Big knees to the body from Jake Hager. And that one was a little low to the body. He clinched him and threw one of those ginormous knees into the ball sack of Anthony Garrett. So watch the replay on that one. I think he might have caught him. There's a big one right there. Boom. And good call by Big John McCarthy. He's saying that the knee actually landed above the cup area, but the shin caught. And that's what's a lot harder for MMA fighters. In boxing, it's like you get a low blow. A low blow's a little more simple, I think. Either you punch a guy in the groin or you don't. When you're talking about the shin hitting the groin, when you throw a knee, that's a little harder to avoid. So I don't think it was that bad of a low blow, though. Nice left hand from Hager. Garrett's going to shoot for the takedown. And he's got to be careful. Jack Swagger going for a guillotine there. Can't get it. Oh, that was very low. And Jack Swagger just knocked the swag out of Anthony Garrett. I'm expecting his nuts to drop on the floor at any time. That was absolutely powerful. Wow. Let's watch the replay on that one. He got it right under the boys. Oh, yeah. That is a 250-pound man driving his knee underneath the nutsack of Anthony Garrett. And you got to cringe a little bit just to watch this. Anthony Garrett, beaten and bloody, but he can't even get up off the canvas right now. I mean, he looks like he is about ready to die over here. He's just laying down. I don't expect this fight to be restarted. They're going to give him 5 minutes, and we'll see how he's doing. And a couple of donations. CJ Smith, 15 Czar, says, hello, Mike and gang, hashtag UFC 244. Come on. All right, CJ Smith, thank you for that. And another one, PBR Street Gang with the $9.99 donation. Thank you very much, guys. He says, hello. Garrett by decision for this. I don't know about that now. What's going on, Mr. Brozilla in the house? DM PBR, let's freaking go. Yeah, PBR has been the super chat superstar recently. And this is damn. They got to take a point away for this, though, because he'd just been warned for a low blow. And then he just goes under the sack. I mean, he was going under, he was going underwater like Aquaman. Only it wasn't water, it was Anthony Garrett's nuts. They're lifting his legs, they're doing... I don't see this continuing. I really don't. Unfortunately, this is probably going to end up being a no contest. Can't wait to, Dave, if it happens. And we're going to talk about what happened there for those that don't know. BMF title in question, that fight. It's not 100% going to happen right now. With all the information that we're given, which is little, and it's all, pretty much all coming from Nate Diaz. Nothing from the UFC, nothing from USADA. But I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. I got some news clips, or some tweets, I should say. A deleted tweet that I dug up that kind of gives us an idea of where the story's going right now. What's going on, Hager 9? Not much, man. How you doing? Just looking for tainted salmon. Oh, my God. Hello, Denise. How you doing? DM, Jake, yeah. Not good, Jake. Not good. And I put Jack Hager. It's actually Jake Hager. Jack Swagger was his WWE name. But that's probably not going to matter. It looks like this is probably going to end up being a disqualification. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to read what's going on with Nate Diaz for those that don't have it. Oh, you got it, Haterade9. Hey, thanks for playing. I'm glad you got it already. Thank you. I had thought I had sent it a while back, actually. And then I went on there to order something else, and I noticed it was still sitting in my cart. And apparently they had an old debit card on there. But I'm glad it got to you. So here we go. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read this. I'm going to try to... Well... I'm going to put the tweet in question up here right now. What I could get, it was a little small, but I'm going to read it to you guys. Obviously, this was a picture from Nate's phone. But I'm going to read you the tweet completely. This is from Nate Diaz at 2:34 p.m. October 24th. And actually, it's up there. We're going to wait to see what the decision here is first with this match with Jake Hager and Anthony Garrett. They're going to give us the official decision here. Will this be a loss for Hager? Will it be a no contest? 1 minute, 56 seconds of round 1, it was ruled that Jake Hager landed an unintentional knee to the groin. Of course, it was the second knee to the groin in the fight. And Margliotta, big John McCarthy, complimenting the call. I agree with the two. They're saying an unintentional knee to the groin. And this is being called a no contest. So no contest. But I'm going to read the tweet for you because you guys probably cannot read it. It's not real big. So this is Nate. He says, I'm not going to make it out to NYC for fight week next week because they say I tested with elevated levels that they say might be from some tainted supplements. I call false on this, on that cause. I'm going to read it word for word, and there's going to be swear words in there. For anybody that's offended, I'm sorry. I'm just reading the news here. So until USC, USADA, or whoever is fucking with me fixes it, I won't be competing. I'm not going to play their game and try and hide it or keep quiet as they suggested. I'm not going to have my name tainted as a cheater like these other motherfuckers who keep quiet until after the fight just so they can get paid. Fucking cheaters. I don't give a fuck about some money over my dignity and my legacy. I'm not playing along with this bullshit. I'm not staying quiet and figuring out after the fight. That's cheating. So fight game, I'll see you when I see you. Sincerely, the realest, baddest motherfucker in the game. First, let's get some thoughts. It was a no contest. 7. No contest. Low blow knee from Jake Hager, and it was a no contest. He should get DQ, says Hager. Well, the first one was questionable. And then the second one right afterwards, I think they definitely would have taken a point away, so that's getting tough. What's going on, comedic genius? Good to see you. Hager crushing can again. Just crushing nuts, man. He was a no contest. Snapped his freaking nuts. Jones touched Nate Sweet and a picogram went in. That's hilarious. That's why I like Nate, says Adam. I definitely have some updates on that, though. And I'm going to have to come over here, because, sorry, guys, I just switched to new glasses, but I don't know if my eyes are getting used to them or what, but so far, I don't know how much I'm caring for them, but I'll tell you, this week I started going through the 5 stages of grief. I don't know what you guys know, if you guys know what the 5 stages of grief are, but I'm going to put it up there. This is Kubler-Ross's grief cycle. So when we seen Nate's tweet at first, we were in denial. I was in denial. We were all in denial. Then it was avoidance. Nobody wanted to talk about it at first. This can't be real. Then confusion. What happened? What's going on? What happened with, this belt? I don't know that we hit elation, but it was just shock. Shock and fear that this fight was probably not going to happen. Then we moved into the second stage of anger. We were angry. We didn't know what was going on. A lot of that was from the confusion of really not knowing what was going to happen. Then frustration, irritation, and anxiety. For sure, all of those. Afraid that this fight was not going to happen. Still may not happen. But there is some hope. I read or heard somewhere that they said he tested positive for SARM's trace amounts. Yes, I read that as well. But, all right, I am going to give you the newest up to date. This was actually deleted from Nate Diaz's Twitter. This was about an hour ago that this was tweeted, and Brett Okamoto, the pimp he is, retweeted this, and that's still up there. This tweet's probably not even available right now. It's not available from Nate Diaz's tweet line. He put it up and deleted it. But at Dana White, at UFC on Fox, at ESPN, at ESPN MMA, It's no more Fox, UFC on Fox, of course, but he said, clear my name or I ain't doing shit. And you see a lot of people seeing it very quickly. 6,400 people liked it. 1,800 retweets. Maybe he didn't think about that before he deleted it. That many people were going to be interested in it. And then just a ton of comments. That gives us some hope, though. Because they're talking. They're talking. It's like that girlfriend when she breaks up with you. It's that girlfriend, like that girlfriend when she breaks up with you and you think all is over. But then she starts talking to you. Then she starts talking to you and you say, okay, if she's talking, there's some hope. She's not completely ignoring me. She's getting back to some of your texts, some of your tweets, whatever messages. She might not be talking to you on the phone, but she's in contact. Nate is in contact. I usually skip bargaining, says Adam. Yep. Somebody's blood work is wrong. I was just listening to Dulce talk about these the other day, and they're actually not for human consumption, so I don't see Nate taking something like that. I did not know that. That's good to know, though. Someone pulled a training day on Nate. I don't know what you like. Oh, jeez. Yeah, for sure, man. Clear my name. He's the only one who talked. Mike's exclusive report. This is deep, Mike. Well, thank you, Mr. Brozella. I wasn't the one who broke this one, though. That was, Nate put it out, and then Brett Okamoto, luckily, snatched the tweet up before it disappeared. But I've definitely been working hard at getting some of these stories out as quickly as possible. And, he put the ball in the UFC and USADA's court. They're like, oh, we'll figure this out, in the usual thing. 8 months, 9 months, whatever the UFC generally says. And Nate's like, no. No, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to do that. He's like, you got 9 days. You got 9 days to figure this out, or I'm not going to be there. Now, the next important thing in the timeline is there are tickets bought for Mr. Nathan Diaz to fly out to New York City tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I know it's tomorrow. Now, of course, we got a UFC, the main event, starting at 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, between Ben Askren and Damian Maia. Now, so maybe a decision will be made. I don't know if a decision will be made by then. If Dana White wasn't in Singapore, when he seen Nate's first tweet, I wouldn't doubt if he jumped on a plane to Singapore. It's like, man, I don't want to talk about this to anybody. And he has not addressed it. He has not addressed it on Twitter or anything. The only thing he's been addressing is the fight that's coming up, the card that's coming up. And to be fair, I mean, he doesn't want to take the shine off of Maia and Askren right now. We still have a card before that. So he still has a card to promote. And maybe he jumps right into it after that. But I think it's smart for UFC and USADA not to say anything at this point. In a way, hoping, that it goes off. That it goes off without a hitch. I guarantee you they are working behind the scenes to make sure that they have a replacement should Nate not be able to go. Nick steps in. Chael Sonnen. I had mentioned that in the first video I did. Chael Sonnen actually mentioned that. So, as far as I knew, I did not think that Nick Diaz was still in the USADA testing pool. I thought he was officially retired. And if he's not, I can't imagine that he could be in the kind of shape that it would take to fight Jorge Masvidal on that short of notice. But I was pretty surprised to see Chael Sonnen say that. True. And Chael had talked to Ariel Helwani. Chael talked to Ariel Helwani today. He posted a video talking about it. I watched the video so I can regurgitate it to you guys. Basically, he said he calls up Ariel and ask him, what's going on? Do you know what's going on? There's got to be more to this. And he said, yes, there is more to this, but I cannot tell you yet. So to be fair, I mean, why tell Chael? Don't, it's his story. Don't let Chael tell the story when it's your scoop. So I understand that, and have no doubt we're going to be seeing something from Ariel Helwani, Brett, and probably Nate in the next day. Who you got, Askren or Maya? I have Maya. I was looking at the odds, though, and I am a bit confused as to how these odds makers come upon their numbers. Now, not surprised Ben Askren is a slight favorite coming into this. He's around a minus 160, so that puts Damian Maia at about a plus 135, plus 140. Pretty close. So I'm not going to argue with that too much. But then, for Ben Askren to get the knockout over Damian Maia, who's only been knocked out once in his career, over a decade ago by Nate Marquardt. Just 4-1 odds. Just 4-1 odds that Ben Askren knocks out Damian Maia. Now, Damian Maia knocking out Ben Askren, it's 8-1. I kind of thought that the odds might even be a little deeper. I expected it to kind of be for both of them, maybe. If it was me making those, I kind of thought that it was going to be more like 15-1 at least. So if they would have had Damian Maia at 15-1 odds or more to win by knockout, I think I would have taken that bet. At 8-1, I mean, I don't know. I think Damian Maia definitely could score a knockout in this fight, though. I mean, Ben Askren's, his striking is so unacceptable at a UFC championship level. That's the best word that I can think to describe it at this level. It's just, it's unacceptable. It's inept. Should be a case if it doesn't affect his performance, let him fight. I agree the thing is the UFC did not say that he couldn't fight. If you heard what I was saying in the tweet, or if you'd already read it, what Nate tweeted out was the UFC asked him to fight like they did Brock Lesnar, like they did other fighters. They said, hey, go ahead, go in there and fight. We'll sort this all out later. So later, then we can throw you under the bus and say, hey, Nate Diaz, he tested positive for, SARMs or elevated levels of testosterone or whatever, whatever it is. And he went and fought anyways. He's saying, no, that's not the case, you dirty effers. That's not how it went down at all, and I'm going to let everybody know. The UFC told me to fight anyways, and then later on, they could come out and say, hey, Nate tested positive for this fight. And he's like, no, that's not how it's going to go down. Oh, I agree with that, J-Dig. He got his caved in. What's up there, cousins? Thank you. Yes. Hager, new here. Askren hasn't thrown a punch in the UFC yet. I think you're right, Narodny Yarborough. I don't think he has. Nate pulled out of the fight, says Mr. Rosillo. I respect Nate for that. He pulled out. Now it seems like it's, right when he'd gotten back out, he pulls you back in. And I don't know if this is for sure, but he said he just put the ball in UFC and USADA's court. He said, clean it up, or I won't show. Clean it up, or I won't show. And for those that didn't see it yet, I'm going to put up, this is the newest tweet from Nate Diaz. Just says, clear my name or I ain't doing S. And that's of a little more than an hour ago. So that's as up to date, I believe, as anyone is, except for, maybe Nate in the UFC. Why do these fighters sign for Bellator? For they must get paid less. Benson Henderson said he got a very favorable deal with Bellator. So he said they paid him similar to what the UFC did, if not a little bit more. And then he still gets his sponsors, which are big, which UFC with that Reebok deal, which expires next year, by the way. I don't remember when in 2020, but I know it does expire in 2020. So it's not guaranteed that Reebok will renew or the UFC will seek to renew with them. Yes, join the Fantasy Friends, Fights of Friends Fantasy League here in the link. It's a basketball fantasy league Billy's put together for us. I believe there's only 3 more spots. I think UFC tried to frame Nate to blackmail him. I was trying to say that I had kind of thought that, and I was talking to young David, and young David's like, no, Dad, that's the craziest conspiracy you've ever came up with. And I'm like, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Still doesn't mean it's not possibly true. Because how many times weekly do we see a fighter coming out and Dana coming out with stories, and the 2 stories conflict each other? Every single week. Beck Rawlings versus Ilara Joanne coming up next. Women's flyweight division. Slipped on the vegan. All right, I'm going to switch the names here real quick. And somebody coming down to some epic music, some Game of Thrones music, it looks like. Ilara Joanne. And just a reminder for everybody, this is not only on DAZN tonight. If you have DAZN, it is on DAZN. It is there. But it is also on the Paramount Network on cable. So, finally, you don't have to have the Paramount Network to watch this. And isn't it about time? Ilara Joanne, Beck Rawlings, female flyweights. And sorry, I'm going to fall off screen for a while. I'm trying to find our fight clock. And there it is. And here comes Beck Rowdy Rawlings back to the cage. A nickname she totally came up with all by herself. No. But here she comes. Nate isn't as dumb as he looks. I think you're right on that, CJ Smith. I mean, he literally put their balls to the fire, CJ Smith, and somebody's nut hairs are singed right now. Beck Rawlings, 7-8 in MMA record, but she went over there to bare knuckle recently. She's 3-0 over in the bare knuckle boxing world. And there's going to be, and coming up in 1 minute, they're going to take a quick commercial break. I believe, no, they're not going to go away. Okay, less than a minute. And they'll be in, the last fight, Steve based out. Jake Hager actually landed a knee to the nuts, 2 knees to the nuts on Anthony Garrett. The second one, he was not able to continue. And the fight was called a no contest, unfortunately. Excuse me. Right, J Dig? Did you guys all see Frank Mir looking, as jacked as TRT Belfort? He looks like he got on a few extra supplements. Slipped on the vegans. They make more in Bellator because of sponsors. A lot of them do. Mid-card fighters make more in Bellator. Yeah. If Nate knows that he is clean, then what's the problem? He should still fight to prove his case after the fight. This is Mr. Brazil. He's telling him, clear my name now, though. Beck Rawlings, 7-8, 30 years old, 5'6". Ilara Joanne, 8-4, 25 years old, 5'3". Beck Rawlings will have a slight reach advantage at 64.5 inches. Ilara Joanne, she has the better record of 8-4, but Beck Rawlings faced the much tougher opposition. Rawlings should come in a pretty big favorite on this one. Rousey got her nickname from Piper. Yeah, that is correct, Christopher Collins. And so she went to Rowdy Roddy Piper while he was still alive and asked permission. So I'm okay with that. I mean, she didn't come up with it, obviously, but she did ask permission. And in the blue corner, with an MMA record of 8-4, weighing in at 125 pounds, 5'3", Ilara Joanne. Out of the red corner, with an MMA professional record of 7 wins, 8 losses, a former UFC fighter, former veteran of bare knuckle boxing. She is Beck Rowdy Rawlings. And the referee in charge will be Dan Mergliotta. Bellator debut for both women. Beck Rawlings, of course, ended up over there in bare knuckle boxing for a minute. And they touch gloves, and it is on. And I don't know why our fight clock is not on the thing, though, because I have it up on mine. Maybe I need to refresh. Oh, it is up there. But for some reason, it's behind. All right, here we go. 4:35. So I don't know what's going on there. So obviously a huge lag on the fight clock. Oh, big body kick there from Ilara Joanne. And I'm just going to kill the fight clock because it's unfortunate it's not even close. Something with communication between YouTube and OBS. But Ilara clinching Beck, throwing her into the cage here. Nate is bargaining from a strong position right now. I agree. Rather than a weak position after the fight. Oh, and Beck Rawlings goes for an Ogoshi, but Ilara Joanne turns it around and gets the takedown. And she has Beck Rawlings in the half guard. She is, well, you could say it's half side control. She's got one leg hooked up in the half guard of Beck Rawlings, and Ilan working to the body, back to the head for Joanne. And she is very close to moving to side control, but she's got enough leverage here that she can land shots. She's got Beck Rawlings isolated. Another big shot there. Beck Rawlings, she prefers to stand on her feet, which that's why I kind of want to know why she didn't just stay over there in bare knuckle FC. Maybe she's going to do both, because I'm pretty sure Bellator does not have an issue with that. And Joanne going for a neck crank here. Ilara Joanne looking to put a neck crank on Beck Rawlings here. If she just keeps turning to her right here, I'm not sure if she realizes it. No, Beck pulls the full guard here. 2:45 left in the first round. 2:40 now. And how you doing, Billy? To Sergio Pettis jumping to Bellator for Shadow Anthony Showtime Pettis eventually joining Bellator. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I did see that. I'm sure that I'd be surprised if while Sergio was visiting Bellator, talking to Scott Coker, talking to those guys, if Anthony Pettis didn't have a word with anyone. That would really surprise me. It would be a bad move on Scott Coker's part to not have a word with Anthony Pettis, unless he just didn't want anything to do with any of it, which would also surprise me. And Joanne really driving forward and winning this first round here on the ground. Beck Rawlings has shown a weakness on the ground, which, like I said, is why I thought maybe she was over there in bare knuckle. 7-8 in her MMA career. Cut from the UFC. Nice right hand from the top there from Joanne. Because she is very entertaining, especially when she gets to her feet. She's got a bombastic personality, that I believe doesn't come off too cringy. And, I mean, they need some personality in that flyweight division in the UFC. So if she'd had a few more wins, maybe, it would be different. But Showtime Pettis would be a huge star for Bellator to promote. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and good job by Dan Mergliotta. I might have even done that a little quicker. He's going to call this up for inaction. 50 seconds left here in the first. Both women in the center of the cage. Beck moving forward. Nice spinning kick to the body there from Joanne. And when I seen the odds, like I said, I'm pretty sure Beck Rawlings was quite the favorite. Nice right hand from Rawlings. Right hand, left hook, right hand there from Joanne. And another right hand from Joanne, showing off the boxing as well. Superman punch from Rawlings. Big knee to the body there from Joanne. And if Beck can't beat Joanne on her feet, she's got a real problem because she's not real good on her back. Pettis versus Henderson 3 would be a good fight if Showtime goes to Bellator. Absolutely, and that would be the big one to promote. I would think that would be the fight I would imagine coming right in. As soon as Anthony came in, I would assume that they were trying to make that fight. But it's hard to say what Anthony's going to do. I mean, he just had, he went the distance with Nate. He had his moments. And Nate's tough as hell. Lose one fight to Nate, that's not usually a guy you're going to be retiring for. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now. After that, he was coming off that big knockout to Stephen Thompson. So maybe eventually. Sure, definitely a possibility that eventually that happens. And I think OBS, it seems like OBS is a ways behind what's going up here on YouTube, but we'll see. We'll see if the fight clock shoots off this time. Oh, big left hook! The round has started. A big left hook from Joanne. She just floored Beck Rawlings. Absolutely popped her. That was magnificent. And I got 4:30 here left. I'd rather see Nick and Nate, to be honest. She just floored Beck Rawlings. All right, so everything should be up with the fight clock. Apparently, it's about 20 seconds behind me tonight. Maybe YouTube made an update. I'm not sure. But Beck continuing to move forward here. 4:05 left on the clock. Or Joanne inside the guard of Beck, excuse me. Once again, after flooring Beck Rawlings, and I thought Joanne won the first round easily. What's going on? Oh, Beck is not out, but she got popped, Brozilla. Rather see Nick and Nate, to be honest. Interested. Oh, Theron Nelson, did you just post some puppies? What's up, Arcade Chaos? Good to see you, my friend. Think Big Country is going to hurt Mr. Mir tonight. Could be, man. Definitely could be. And Joanne on top, continuing to control Beck Rawlings here. Guys, don't forget to check out Billy's Fantasy Basketball League. You can go up, he put the link in it. If you want to put the link up there again, Billy, feel free. That would be great. There was only 3 spots. I'm in it, of course, but there was only 3 spots left the last time I seen. big right hook here from Joanne, and she's going underneath for the rear naked choke. We could see an RNC here. She's a little high. The hooks aren't closed, but she might be able to get it from here. Maybe. Beck Rawlings looks absolutely defenseless here, though. A couple more big shots here from Ilara Joanne, and she's got her stretched out now. Stretching around, getting the hooks in. Beck turning the right direction. She needs to turn to her left. And Beck Rawlings turns this around and ends up on top. Great reversal here from Beck, and now she's got the back. Throwing some big hammer fists. And Joanne going for a leg lock here, though. She's got a hold of Beck Rawlings' ankle. It's hard to see how serious this is. There it is, and she taps! She gets the leg lock. Wow. Just when it seems like Beck Rawlings had turned it over with a great transition, Ilara Joanne gets the ankle lock. That is a big upset, Bill Hughes. Even though Ilara had the bigger record, I want to say Beck Rawlings was like a 4.5 or 5-1 favorite coming into this. All-Star is a big leg kick this round that put Beck Rawlings on the ground, and then Beck transitions. Ilara had her back. Beck Rawlings transitions over. But what she did in there, she gave her ankle to Ilara, who took it and said, I'll take that. And Beck Rawlings has no choice but to tap or set her ankle home with Joanne, who is on a 3-fight win streak. Okay, and we are not on round 1 anymore, and that fight is actually over, though. So we can fix that. All right, guys. This stream to you brought to you by the superstars of Super Chat. First tonight we had CJ Smith dropping in with 15 ZARs. ZAR is a currency, a denomination over there in South Africa. That's where our friend CJ is from, and thank you for the donation. CJ Smith, greatly appreciated. And a second donation of $9.99 American dollars is brought to you by PBR Street Gang. Thank you again so much, PBR Street Gang. Gotta love our super chatters. And that deserves a round of applause. And Arcade Chaos. Thank you very much, sir. Arcade Chaos bringing it with the super chat tonight. Tap by way of a knee bar in the second round. Ilara Joanne. And Big John McCarthy will speak to her now, but that decision brought to you by a longtime member and super chatter, our friend Arcade Chaos. Thank you again so much, Arcade Chaos. Much appreciated. It's a score in the Astros game. Astros 2-1. But all right. Man, I tapped out on the last World Series game. Well, hey, always appreciated Arcade Chaos. I tapped out on the last World Series game, Billy. Got into the 7th inning, and then the Nationals blew it open. I'm assuming they won, that they're up 2-0. I didn't even see. Oh, Araya, she's got a kill list. She just run that into the cage. And it's got several women's names on it. First is Beck Rawlings. She's got 3 names underneath it. I like it. Great promotion here for Ilara Joanne. Go Astros. What's going on, Rab? Good to see ya. We're doing good, bro. It's not getting to club sheets and the money I throw into them. It's beautiful. To compete the local machine. That's pretty cool that they Mike wimped out. Well, PBR, the thing is my daughter was wanting to spend some time with me. She was home. I don't always get a lot of time to spend with her. And, she came in on the stream with us, for a couple of innings, 2-3 innings. Had cooked dinner. She's like, are you about done? And then the Nationals blew that open. Went up by 7 runs. I'm like, yeah, I think this thing's over in the bottom of the 7th. Oh, I hear you, man. She has a hit list. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. Mr. Brozilla. I mean, that was, and that was so subtle. She didn't have to talk a bunch of crap. She just put it up. So the camera is actually the guy that is with her, and he's holding it up to the camera right now as they're looking at it again. Trying to figure out who the next names are on there. I didn't quite catch that. If you paused it, I should have paused it. We'll see if he shows it one more time. I don't think he is. I think he put it away. Anyways, pretty cool to put up a hit list. All right, 27 watching. We were close to 40, I believe. Everybody, please hit that like button if you are new here, or if you just forgot to subscribe for whatever reason you're not subscribed. Make sure and hit that subscribe button. Help me hit that goal. I wrote it down, 6,000 before the end of the year. I made a promise to myself, guys, we got to get there. 6,000 subs by the end of the year, and then make sure you ring that bell so you're notified whenever I go live, like tomorrow for the finish of the welterweight tournament, Douglas Lima versus Rory McDonald 2. And then, of course, next week, UFC 244, hopefully, Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal for the BMF. A great card, even if that, for some reason, that fight doesn't happen, but I think it will. Top of 5, Astros just got a base hit. The crowd is booing. Oh, that's great. So now they're showing it, the finals for the welterweight World Grand Prix. Douglas Lima defeated Michael Page. Rory McDonald defeated Neiman Gracie then in the final, in the semifinals. And there we go tomorrow. They will give away $1 million too. Scott Coker, 50 Cent will be in there to present it. $1 million to the winner of that. And if Douglas Lima wins it, of course, he will also be the new welterweight champion. If Rory wins it, well, he defended his title throughout the entire tournament, and that is impressive. Got to close this game out, though. They definitely do. Got to beat the Master Key game at your movie theater. That's great. Don't even like baseball. I'm really rooting for the Astros. Well, Washington, D.C., you just got to kind of think a bunch of criminals, right? I mean, the players aren't, but do we really want that? Really want to give those guys more to celebrate about? I mean, if you're here in the States, they already got our money. What more do they need? Let me get it clear. I'm a huge Frank Mir fan. Way bigger Mir fan than Big Country, to be honest with you, even though I'm a pretty Big Country fan. But I think Big Country has his number. I agree, Arcade Chaos. Don't think Frank is going to bring anything worse than Big Country's last fight. Big Rory fans, PBR. Roy Nelson did look as out of shape as we've ever seen him. And I'm a big Roy Nelson fan. But I will say that is saying something. That is definitely saying something. Saying that he's more out of shape than he's ever been for any fight. Because it's obviously not a guy that's known for his physique. I like Rory too, Street Gang. Crowd is booing everything that don't go the Nationals' way. Well, they can't vote their way out of it. They can't buy the game, RK, so they're upset. The crowd's upset. Nothing against the players over there in the Nationals, but you know, you got a lot of lobbyists and politicians and all that crap over there. A bunch of crooks. Rory wasn't the same after that fight with Robbie. Well, he obviously did not look good at all in that fight with John Fitch. I thought he lost that. One of the judges thought he lost that. I thought, that John Fitch probably got 2 10-8 rounds in that fight. Won at least 3 rounds. But that one ended up being a majority draw. No referee, or no judge, gave that fight to Rory McDonald. But since 2 judges had it a draw and just 1 had it a win for Fitch, Fitch ends up basically, being retired. He said he was going to retire after the tournament, and Rory McDonald moved on. Houston 3, Nationals 1. I like it. Hope Maya wins by KO. I hope so too, Billy Hughes. I said earlier, anybody who missed it, if you think that Damian Maya might get a knockout over Ben Askren, I can't strike my way out of a paper bag. 8-1 odds. You can get 8-1 odds on that. Point for Houston. They did. It will be over. You're right, Rodney. Pretty much. Mayor's been owning his BJJ and will probably win a decision by mixing it in. We'll see. Has Houston won chaos? Has he ever been in shape, though? I mean, that's the real question here, Sarkade. Yeah, Roy's never really been in great shape. But that's why I'm saying he may be in the worst shape I've ever seen him in, and that is saying something. That is definitely saying something. I think Fitch was robbed in that fight. I agree with you, Rodney. 100%. 100%. And next fight coming up, guys. Let's look ahead. If you wanted to see the fights earlier too, I did put them in the description of this video. But next up is Ed Ruth and Jason Jackson. So let's switch the fighter names over here. I'm gonna send you a message back, right back here, Billy. All right, guys. UFC 244 coming up. I mean, this is one of the biggest UFCs ever, and hard to say that there's ever there's been two fighters that the fans want to see fight each other more in quite some time than these two gangsters. But I got something for you guys in that one. I got it right here, actually. Boom. There you go. This is going on UFC 244. Don't give your predictions yet. There'll be a video later for that and a time in chat. But whoever I mean, you can give your predictions now, but I'm not going to count them yet. So whoever is closest on the BMF belt, whoever Jorge Masvidal fights, whether it be Nate, whether it be Conor McGregor, whether it be Leon Edwards, actually pulled his name out of the hat. He is not available, or the UFC pulled him out of the hat. For those of you that didn't see that, but you'll pick just like we did for the other fight where Rob Kerrigan won the Conor McGregor gloves. You pick the winner, the round that they finish it in. The time will be the tiebreaker, and how they finish it. So all those things. Actually, the time is the last tiebreaker. If two people should happen to get the way that it is finished the same, which I just want knockout or submission. I don't want by like arm bar or knee bar or RNC. Altuve is a beast for Houston. Definitely is, man. Definitely is. Country by KO. What's up, Trevi McTrev? What's that? Oh, just a little bit of information for anybody out there who likes retro games. Walmart has a Legends flashback on clearance for $11. HDMI is fantastic games. Nice. Well, thanks for the heads up, Arcade. That should be a great Christmas gift to a lot of people. Maybe I'll grab one for one of my nephews. Or both of my nephews. That's right. Jason Jackson is an ex-Ultimate Fighter contestant. I knew I recognized that name, but I wasn't sure where from. And Ed Ruth, I believe, is a pretty damn big favorite on this one. I'm going to bring up the the odds here real quick on the old DraftKings, who hopefully the Washington State legislation, I'm actually working with the Washington State legislation. Well, I'm pressuring them. I'm getting as much information, and I'm trying to be as much of a liaison between DraftKings and the Washington State Gaming Commission as I can. Obviously, I don't have a big point of power, but I've been to a couple of their meetings, and we're working on getting that legalized here, and I'm working on getting more information that if sports gambling is not legal in your state, what has to be done to get it legalized in your individual state. And then hopefully, I'm hoping DraftKings will turn around and give me a favorable sponsor deal. They've already offered me a sponsor deal, but I can't take it yet. Because I can't take any money from them right now legally. All right, so I'm going to tell you the odds here coming up. Oh, it's Paul Daly versus Sadawad. Paul Daly is going to be a minus 400. They pulled the odds for Ed Ruth versus Jason Jackson. It's too close. Sadawad, a plus 280. So check this out. Manny Muro, Nick Newell. For those of you that didn't know, Nick Newell, the one-arm MMA fighter, he'll be fighting in the next fight after this. He's a minus 715 favorite over Manny Muro. And a couple other big fights on this still to come. It's a pretty long main card. And we'll go into the rest of those here in a minute. But Ed Ruth, Jason Jackson making their way to the cage right now. And Jason Jackson coming down to some chill Jamaican music here. Product of Jamaica here. Jason Jackson looking to pull off the upset. Yeah, Newell did just fight Grass Tiger, but I guess they wanted to get him back in right away. I'm not going to complain. Mir doesn't have it anymore. I have Roy by second round KO. I agree with you, Sam 302. I'm not sure how much Roy has left either, but I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have anything left. Frank Mir has very little. Jason Jackson, he's a former LFA champion. Ed Ruth has got his hands full tonight. All right, guys, I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to call the upset. I'm going to say Jason Jackson, former LFA welterweight champion. I'm going to say he pulls off the upset tonight and is the second man ever to defeat Ed Ruth. Neiman Gracie beat Ed Ruth in the welterweight tournament. Ed Ruth's had all 8 of his fights in Bellator, but I think he's going to get upset tonight. LFA is a spectacular organization, and actually, I called a fight that he was in recently on another card. What's going on, Pete? What's up, Pete in the house? Sorry if I missed the first comment there. Trying to look at the television. I'm just listening to the game right now. I'm chewing off all my nails. Oh, jeez. At least you have e-manners. Driving, still listening. Assuming I agree with everything you say. Good assumption, PBR. No. Pete in the house. PBR in the house. I just didn't see your other comment earlier, Pete, probably. I don't know. Jason Jackson, 10-3, 28 years old, 6'1". Ed Ruth, 7-1, 29 years old, 5'11". Both men weighed in at the limit 170 pounds. Ed Ruth will have an 1.5 inch reach advantage at 79 inches. Is it lagging? It's not lagging on mine. It's not lagging on mine, Pete, so I don't know. Jason Jackson, 7-10 wins by knockout or submission. 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He has an MMA record of 10-3. Action, Jason Jackson. It's kicking, Billy, but yeah. That's funny. But I changed his name for him. I know I called his fight before now because I changed his nickname for him. Ed Ruth, 6 of 7 wins. He is finished. Ed Ruth. Referee will be Keith Peterson for this welterweight battle. And here we go. Boom, they touch gloves. And we are off. Jason Jackson meets Ed Ruth in the center of the cage. Nice left hand there from Ruth to start this out. And Ed Ruth is going to want to keep this standing for sure. Oh, nice leg kick there from Jason Jackson. They exchange leg kicks. Nice body kick there from Ruth. Nice left hand up top for Jackson. Ed Ruth may be overhyped in my opinion. Well, he might be. I think so too. Nice inside leg kick there from Ruth. Nice right hand over the top from Jason Jackson. He's got a great right hook. For those of you guys that watch this, we streamed. It was from another organization, though, right after LFA had lost their fight contract. I can't remember what the organization was. It was like WXF or XFW, something like that. Anyways, nice body kick there from Ed Ruth. Oh, good job. Action Jackson catches the body kick of Ruth and lands a low leg kick. Left, right from Jackson. Like I said earlier, Billy, I have Jackson in this. Oh, big right hand for Jackson. Nice body kick. Action Jackson putting the pressure on here. Oh, big right hook over the top from Jackson. Side kick to the body. Here from Ed Ruth, but Jackson piecing Ruth up right now on his feet. Pete Rhymes. What's going on, Capri-san? I'm doing good, man. How you doing? For those of you that didn't hear it earlier, that weren't in, we have several updates on the UFC 244 Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal fight. Nice body kick there from Jackson. And we'll go over that in between fights. Oh, nice. Straight left there from Ed Ruth from the southpaw position. Nice body kick from Ruth. Ruth's got a lot of blood coming out of that left eye, though. And straight left lands for Ruth. Ruth trying to slow down the tempo of this fight right now. Stroh's threatening. Damn, nobody was watching when I did the last World Show. Well, some of you guys are watching. I definitely won't say nobody. The hardcores were in for the World Series. But a couple of nice left hands there from Jackson. Ed Ruth comes back, lands a straight left, and a side kick to the body. That eye is bleeding bad for Jackson, though. And the update on the baseball game. Here comes the bullpen. What's the score, Arcade? Still 3-1 Astros? And going for the takedown here is Ed Ruth. And he's got a hell of a submission game. He's got the back of Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson slips out, though, a right uppercut and a right hook. Jackson pays for getting up there, but they are back to the center of the cage. And I kind of, oh, big body kick there from Ed Ruth, who seems to be warming up. And just very composed here now is Ed Ruth. Straight left from Jackson. Jackson came out hot, but since then, Ed Ruth is really calmed down. He looks very composed right now. The only issue he's having was the blood in that left eye. You see him continually wiping that eye. Blood all over his chest, but other than that, he is turning the fight to his pace. Oh, nice 1-2 from Jackson. Big right hand from Ruth. And a big right hand from Jackson. That hurt Ruth. Straight left there from Ruth. And I got to have that round for Jason Jackson, though. There's no doubt about it for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have no doubt. All right, guys. So the stream, I tried something different tonight. So I realize now the stream may be slightly behind. Because what I did was I put it on a normal latency. Usually I have it on low latency, which is best for real-time interaction with minimal playback buffering. I turned it up to normal latency, which gives us more high definition, but then also apparently it looks like it might get us behind a little bit. And that's no good. So next time I might have to switch back, but it's not going to let me switch it in stream. Oh, Jesus. Get to the damn round clock. All right. Well, I couldn't get to the round clock in time. All right. Start of the second round. Ed Ruth and Jason Jackson. First round for sure goes to Jason Jackson. No doubt about that. And John McCarthy and Mike Goldberg agree. Nice inside leg kick there for Jackson. Nice right hook to the body as well. And Jackson, very, very fast. All right, Jackson put on the pressure. I smell an upset, though, tonight. I believe Jason Jackson defeats Ed Ruth. Ed Ruth goes for the takedown here. And Jason Jackson almost landed an illegal kick to the head. Luckily, he was able to stop himself there. Finally here, Mike. Oh, you couldn't hear me before, Pete? Nice right hand there from Jackson, who, like I said, I think won the first round. He is a pretty big underdog coming into this fight. And both men exchange right hands there. And, of course, for those of you that haven't seen it so far, in Japan on December 28th, co-promotion with Ryzen and Bellator. Big right hand there from Ruth, who's starting to come on. Fedor Emelianenko versus Rampage Jackson in Bellator. And then a bunch of Ryzen versus Bellator fighter matches. 7, I believe. Nice body kick there from Ruth. Nice outside leg kick there from Ruth. And Ruth is he's just keeping composed. Trying to outlast Jackson. Nice left there from Ruth. And a nice body kick from Ruth and a right hand. He knows Jackson puts on a pace, but Jackson also slows later in the fight. He's a quick twitch fighter. Ed Ruth. Oh, nice heel kick there for Ed Ruth. He caught Jackson with that. Jackson immediately answers with a right hook, though. And Ruth goes for a takedown there, misses. Nice inside leg kick there for Jackson. Oh, nice right hand and a left hook there from Jason Jackson. His real nickname is the ass-kicking machine for Jason Jackson, but that's a stupid nickname for him. He should have used action. And Ruth putting the pressure on, but Jackson's been the one landing most of the shots. Left hand to the body for Jackson. Nice body kick there from Ruth, though. And Jackson might be slowing down here. Oh, nice right uppercut for Jackson. And it looks like Jackson's got some swelling on his left eye. Ruth's been having an issue with his left eye as well. Had a lot of blood coming out at the last round. It looks like they've kind of got that under control, at least for now. Ruth throwing that spinning wheel kick again, misses, but he caught it earlier. Nice left hook there for Jackson. Nice job of checking the leg kick there for Jackson. Both guys exchanged double jabs. Oh, Ed Ruth goes for the head kick there. Good block there from Jackson. Side kick to the body, though, lands for Ed Ruth. Much better round so far from Ed Ruth. Jackson still having his moments, though. That's a close round. And Ruth catches that body kick, but a nice right hand there from Jason Jackson. And this round is very close. Somebody could definitely steal it with a shot in the last few seconds. Down to 6, 5, 4. And the round will expire here. And Jackson throwing shots at the bell. Ruth blocking those, though. I gave that round to Ed Ruth. I have it at a round apiece. Best actor award for Zimmerman. I'm assuming you got hit with a punch or something. Oh, gee, almost hit him in the head with the baseball. Damn. Oh, and they are dropping the F-bombs over in Jason Jackson's corner. He said, you got to get it on. You got these last 5 minutes. Do you effing understand me? I like it. I like an intense corner. When they know that the fight's close, this is such a huge opportunity for Jason Jackson. His Bellator debut, and he's fighting one of their top prospects. I mean, how good is that? All right, guys, here we go. Third and final round. I have it a round apiece. Ed Ruth, Jason Jackson. Here we go. Left hand to the body. There for Ruth to start this out. Straight left to Jackson. And Big John has his horse guard. He just showed it. Same as me, a round apiece. Straight right and a left hook from Jackson. Nice leg kick there from Ruth. What's up, Hal Snow? Get him, JJ. Dutch wants his shot. Well, Dutch needs to answer his mouth. Oh, huge right hand for Jason Jackson! And big hammer fist, and Ed Ruth is hurt. Wow, we got a 911 call on the corner of Befuddled and Queer Street, and a big right hand there from Ed Ruth. Wow, what a shot. And Ed Ruth recovering amazingly here. I thought he was out. Ed Ruth coming forward, though, now. After being hurt, he knows this fight's close. Nice body kick from Ruth and a low inside leg kick. He can't before recovered, though. I think Jackson needs to jump on him here. Nice right hook there from Ruth. Straight left here from Ruth. Jason Jackson's running out of power here. Oh, big shots here from Ruth now. Big 1-2 from Ruth. And he's got Jackson on the run. Ed Ruth showing his cardio advantage here in the third round. Left hook and a 1-2 from Ruth, just continuing to push forward. And I think he probably has his legs underneath him. I thought this fight was over. I mean, Jason Jackson just cracked Ed Ruth. And hit him with a couple big hammer fists over. I didn't think there was any way this was continuing. I thought they might have stopped it on the initial shot. But Ed Ruth is back in this one in a major way. And great head movement there from Jason Jackson. A 1-2 and a left hook thrown from Ruth. And Jackson ducks under everything. Lands a 1-2 and a left uppercut for Jackson. Straight left lands for Ruth. This is an action-packed third round. I have it a round apiece. Both these guys really want it. Ed Ruth just one loss in his career. Nice straight right and a left hook for Jackson. Jackson, former LFA champion, looking to put his mark here in Bellator in his Bellator debut. Straight left lands for Ruth. Big right hook lands for Jackson. Ruth continuing to move forward, but Jackson landing pop shots as he comes in too. And Ruth goes for the takedown. He's got a foot and he's got Jackson on one knee here at least. He's got his arms clenched around him. A takedown and staying on top would be really big here for Ruth because I think Jackson's ahead in the striking game in this last round. Need 3 people for Fantasy Football League. We do. All right, this fight just about coming to an end here. Coming down to the last minute, and Ed Ruth, he's got Jackson pressed up against the fence, standing, but he's got his back. Lands a couple nice right hands here, trying to finish off the takedown here. Trips Jackson, gets him down to his knees. That's going to count a little bit, and he's staying busy here. Ed Ruth just trying to stay as busy as possible. Jumps on, trying to get the backpack. Can't get it here on Jackson, but Jackson basically has just enough energy here, it looks like, to defend himself. And Ruth with a takedown here. And this might not end well for Jason Jackson if he can't get up and do something right now. He's going to be regretting this for a long time if he cannot get this to his feet. This is a fight he was doing very well in, winning the first round, winning a lot of the third round. Big shot in the ground and pound here from Ed Ruth, and Ed Ruth just trying to put the exclamation point on this third round. Hooks here for Ruth in the final seconds. 30 people watching. Everybody, please hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you like what I do here, make sure if for some reason you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live. And this round is over. Both men hug it out. But I thought Ruth pulled off the third round. I have it 29-28 Ed Ruth. And let's go to the comments here. Yeah, Mr. Brazil on 911 call. Just kind of ad-lib that. Exactly, Billy. Yes, 3 people for the Fantasy Football League. There's the link. Or Fantasy Basketball League, excuse me. There's the link just put up by Billy Hughes. I'm signed up for it, guys. I don't know anything about basketball. I haven't really watched it since the Sonics were a team in 2009, and I joined, so you should at least be able to beat me. I got Ruth, too. Oh, Billy says he's got a 29-28 for Jackson. I have it 29-28 for Ruth. I gave Jackson the first round. I gave Ruth the second and third, but the second round was close, and Jackson had his moments in that third round. You could argue with him just because he hurt Ed Ruth. It all depends on what the judges are looking for. I think 29-28 is what it should be. Either way it goes, I don't really have an issue with it. But, Billy, you want to come in and join me on the mic? I got the Skype open, so just let me know. At least someone come in and give me some bathroom breaks. All right, and awaiting the decision here. Ed Ruth and Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson, the former LFA welterweight champion. Ed Ruth, one of the major prospects here. What's up, Anthony Harper? Thank you very much, sir. Join the basketball league. So just 2 more teams. Two more teams, and they're still adding up the scorecards. Big John has it 29-28. Jason Jackson as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how people scored that third round. I was pretty mixed on that third round. I was just waiting to see one more thing out of Jason Jackson, but possibly I was kind of judging in how I thought the referees were going to score it as opposed to how they should. First judge has it 29-28 Jackson. second has it 29-28 for Ruth. And the third judge, 29-28. Ed Ruth gets the split decision win here. And you are still a couple seconds ahead of me, Ed Ruth. I'm watching this on the freaking DAZN app. That is just proof that Billy is from the future. Ruth's body's up. Nice. All right, big victory for Ed Ruth. I'm sure we will see Jason Jackson in there again. There's quite a few fights on this main card, though. More than what I just had listed here now. I believe. All right, fights still to come tonight. Oh, no, excuse me. Next is the co-main event between Phil Davis and Karl Albrektsson. And then the main event, Frank Mir and Roy Nelson. So this could be a quick night. I stand corrected. Watching on Paramount, and it's ahead, Mike's. You know what I did? Paused it. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it, sir. All right, Beck Rawlings versus Ilara Joanne up next. Or no, they just had this fight. Are they re-showing it? So apparently they're re-showing Beck Rawlings and Ilara Joanne. This is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I think my, never mind. I think my, is that what everybody else is getting? Oh, no. My DAZN app just flipped out on me. Sorry about that. I've been following Karl since he started, Santy Harbor. Nice. All right, so sorry about that. My DAZN app had flipped out on me there. I was trying to get up to live, but I still couldn't get up to where Billy was. All right, for those that didn't see it earlier, I'm going to put it up here again. Breaking news out of UFC 244. So let's start out, if you didn't see it, with the original tweet from Nate Diaz. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I will read it as well. This one's a bit small, but Nate Diaz just yesterday at 2:34 p.m. tweeted, "I'm not going to make it out to NYC for fight week next week because they said I tested it with elevated levels that they say might be for some tainted supplements. I call false on that because I only take whole foods or natural food supplements. I don't even eat meat, so until UFC, USADA, or whoever is effing with me fixes it, I won't be competing. I'm not going to play their game and try and hide it or keep quiet as they suggested. I'm not going to have my name tainted as a cheater like these other MNFers who keep quiet until after the fight just so they can get paid, effing cheaters. I don't give a F about some money over my dignity and my legacy. I'm not playing along with this BS. Not staying quiet and figuring it out after the fight. That's cheating. So fight game, I'll see you when I see you. Sincerely, the realest, baddest BMF in the game." All right. That was a little heartbreaking for some of us. Of course, we're all looking forward to this fight, and that was a devastating news there from Nate Diaz. But then we got another tweet, which apparently is just how Nate Diaz responds. So, and he deleted this immediately, and this was so this was about an hour before the stream started, less than an hour before the stream started. So it's 7:41 here Pacific. Our time. He tweeted this out about 5:15 Pacific, I would say, because we started the stream at 6 p.m. He tweeted it out about 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. Says, clear my name or I ain't doing S. So there you go. He at least leaves an opening, says, hey, UFC, you saw it. The ball is in your court, guys. Fix it or I'm not fighting. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the situation is. I'm not talking to Nate Diaz's corner or anybody, so... Only because Masvidal kind of called him out. Well, Masvidal did say, he said, I'm the baddest MNFer in the game, but one thing I know is Nate Diaz is one of the cleanest MNFers in the game. I think the fight still happens too. I definitely think it still happens. Smash looking forward to this season of NBA. Sarkcast, nice. It's what a BMF has to do. I agree, Adam. Yep, that is how he rolls. I mean, just because they made a mistake doesn't mean he's guilty. I agree with you, Theron. I don't trust anything anymore. Last name is Diaz, of course. He's got Jesus Arcade. I seen that, Ordinary Pete. Oops. Are you like... what do you call that tweet, Ordinary Pete? Like, you have like Tourette's syndrome, only instead of it's swearing, it's political. You know, political messages. Oh, Pete. That was great. All right, guys. I had to take a quick restroom break, and I'll be back. Co-main event coming up. All right, I will be right back. Phil Davis coming up in the co-main event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. One thing made me think Diaz may have taken runs. Whoa, what? Guess having these regulations and those people pulling their governmental body bullcrap every time a fighter tests for a picogram over. Yeah. Tourette syndrome, political sports. That's hilarious. Pete testing positive for a couple of picos here. No. Just kidding, Pete. But, all right, guys, it is coming up, though. What's coming up? UFC 244 is coming up. That's what's coming up. Boom. No matter what happens with those tests or whatever, Jorge Masvidal is going to be fighting for the BMF. And no matter what happens and who is fighting, MMA with Friends is going to be giving away this baby a $50 Amazon gift card. Now, I have a way you can earn additional money on your picks. So the picks are the picks. Choose the winner. You'll choose the winner. The way that they win, the round and the time will be the tiebreaker. But we're going to give away some boosts in the name of the Boost Masters, the Cash App. Guys, check out the Cash App, the only card that gives you boosts. $1 back every time you buy a cup of coffee. Over $1.50, you can get 10% off of Walgreens. You can transfer money just through text. You can pay anybody in the world, and for at least right now, it is free. On top of that, when you use our code, they'll automatically load $5 on it for you. $5 will go to me and MMA with Friends. Ordinary pizzas, I'll be winning those. And Cash App, that's their boost. Here's my boost, guys. Here's my boost. And this is what you'll want to do if you want to win even more. So Cash App has a 10% discount. I have a 10% addition. Add to. So if you go on Twitter, look at the top of my profile, which I have changed to the UFC 224 logo over there on Twitter, @FightsWFriends. Go over there, just retweet with the comment something about MMA with Friends. It's all you have to do. Should you win the gift card, that's going to get you a boost. It's going to get you an extra 10%. Extra 10% in gift cards I'm going to give you. And then the next thing is on the Facebook page. If you go to the Fights of Friends Facebook page and just share anything about this stream coming up, or you share this, our stream, our channel on your Facebook page, I will give you an additional 10% boost. So that means if you get the victory, not only when you get $50 Amazon gift card, you get an additional 10 on top of that. So I'm going to share the page right now. And this is a closed group. It's invitation only. So you're not going to get a bunch of spam. Not going to have a bunch of people on here that we don't know. This is just people from this community. There's a lot being wrong with being a nerd. There's a lot wrong with being a nerd. Why? Yeah, well, the guy's exposed Connor is not a BMF. That's for sure. Exactly, Pete. Sometimes you have to. You are correct. Hey, I'm a fight nerd. I would say I'm probably a fight nerd. I'm pretty into this stuff. All right, guys, putting up the link now for the MMA with Friends Facebook page. It's on there as Fights with Friends on there. So, boom, hit that. So if you retweet @FightsWFriends, and then share it on Facebook from the group, something about our stream, if you win the $50 gift card, you'll get a 10% boost for Twitter, 10% boost for Facebook, up to a 20% boost on top of your winnings. I don't know, WTF I'm talking. All right, Pete. Don't have too much. Kind of remember as a kid's pocket protector. I got you. I think it'd be more a fight geek when you're into something. I think there's a difference between nerd and geek. I think geek is just somebody that's kind of obsessed with somebody. Nerd, yeah, it's maybe way more what you're talking about. But just words, people. Just words. We don't have to label ourselves for anybody. Friends of the Nerds is my jam. 15, no on 15. I like it. All right, Phil Davis versus Karl Albrektsson coming up. And I remember typing in that name for another event. Karl Albrektsson. I'm trying to remember where it was that we seen him fighting in. The King, Karl Albrektsson, making his way to the cage right now. That is a long freaking name, Karl. I'm just gonna put Karl up, Karl Al, but there we go. That's the most you're getting there, Karl. You're getting greedy with the letters. Too many letters, sir. Just chill out and have a normal name like everybody else. No, just kidding. My name is pretty long as it is, so I don't like doing the signature for Michael Benedict. It very rarely fits anywhere. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's the guy I was thinking of. I believe he fought twice in one night in Ryzen. Did he fight King Mo over there too? I believe he did. This fight is going to be badass, says Pete. I think you might be correct. And making his way to the cage now, former UFC contender Phil Davis. And in Japan a few times. Yep. Child's Play remake. Does it suck? Huh, interesting. Former Bellator light heavyweight world champion and former UFC contender and veteran Phil Davis has made his way into the cage. Mr. Wonderful. Guy looks like a foreign sage. Well, the MMA is entertaining and it's every weekend now, so it's just a new phenomenon. I don't think we've had this discussion. It's every weekend now. It's off the hook. I love it, Theron. I love that it's... we're kind of spoiled. Well, maybe more than kind of. I mean, I've said before, we're in the golden age of MMA, and I think that was before we had these weekly events. Karl Albrektsson, 9-2, 26 years old, 6'2". Phil Davis, 20-5, 35 years old, also 6'2". Phil Davis will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage at a whopping 78 inches. That is a hell of a reach. Both men weighing in at the 205-pound limit. I'll go with that, Billy. I think Theron is our local guru. And he is in touch with the earth and plants as well. Out of Sweden with a record of 9-2, 4 finishes, Karl the King Albrektsson. And out of the red corner at 6'2", 205 pounds, notable wins against Liam McGreary, Alexander Gustafsson, Lyoto Machida, Antonio Rogero Nogueira, King Mo, Glover Teixeira, Emmanuel Newton, Tim Boetsch. 21-5, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis, Kevin McDonald will be the referee in this co-main event of the evening. Davis, Karl. Here we go. And no touch of gloves yet. Albrektsson moving forward with that bright yellow hair and his bright red shorts. Nice straight right there from Albrektsson. Misses a leg kick. And Phil Davis, and those pink shorts will blind you from a zip code away. Always recognize that guy. Inside leg kick for Karl. It's inside leg kick there for Karl. Does Karl Albrektsson kind of look like, when he's standing there, like an evil Japan anime character? Just the way his hair and his eyes are set and everything. I'm sorry, just kind of looks like a Dragon Ball Z villain or something. What's up, Lewis? You can watch the fights on DAZN and the Paramount Network. Nice right hand there for Davis. Albrektsson comes back with a left hook and a kick to the body. So they are on DAZN and the Paramount Network, and Phil Davis throws a leg kick. Albrektsson catches it, pushes Davis into the fence, and Davis gets on a guillotine here. This could be deep. Whoa, might send this over to a Darce choke. Oh, and he's out. I thought Phil was going to clinch and maybe throw some knees there, but back to the center of the cage. Davis and Karl. Left hook misses for Karl Albrektsson. Oh, nice left hook from Phil Davis. Nice counter shot. 30 people watching. Everybody, please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed, make sure and hit that sub button. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live. And if you want to help keep the lights out on here, go ahead and hit that super chat button there. You can donate, and I'll put your names up in the lights like we already have to the 3 gentlemen that have donated tonight. Nice right hand and a left hook there from Karl Albrektsson. CJ Smith, Arcade Chaos, and PBR Racing. Donations tonight. Thank you again, gentlemen. Nice left hook from Karl. And a straight right from Phil Davis. Right hand misses for Albrektsson. Left hook gets through for Karl. Always works. Well, you know, they've not said anything to me, so I think I'm good. Nice left hook there from Phil Davis. Oh, nice 1-2 from Davis, but a big right hook there from Albrektsson. Outside leg kick from Karl. Davis blocks that body kick. Oh, nice low leg kick from Davis, but Albrektsson catches it and lands a right hand. Nice counter there from Albrektsson. Front kick to the body there from Davis. Very close first round. It would be hard to call at this point. Inside leg kick there from Albrektsson. Good thing there's a minute and a half left in this round. And Davis gets the takedown, goes to the takedown, gets the trip, the Ochigari inside, and he is on top of Albrektsson. And Karl pops right back up. But Davis locking now. I would have Davis leading this fight now. A couple of right hands there from Davis. Phil Davis trying to wrap Albrektsson up here, but Albrektsson up on his feet up against the fence. Turns his hips into Davis and out back to the center of the cage. Albrektsson going to look to land those bombs now. Nice low leg kick there from Albrektsson. He's looking to land that big left hand from the southpaw position here, though. Oh, and there's a nice right hand. Back to orthodox was Albrektsson. Right uppercut lands for Davis. 30 seconds left in the round. Nice body kick there for Davis. Game is aggravated. Who won the main event? What's up, Pulse Reloaded? Main event is up next. Frank Mir and Roy Nelson coming up next. And for those that don't know, now you know. This is not just on the Zone. It's also on the Paramount Network. Straight right and a body kick there for Albrektsson. Big body kick for Albrektsson. A low leg kick for Phil Davis. I have that a very close first round, but I would say Phil Davis with the submission attempt and the takedown. I'm going to give it to Phil Davis. And Phil Davis's corner telling him the 2 under is always there. So I think the double leg takedown is what he's talking about. So, yeah, who is winning? Weren't the Astros ahead? Houston winning 4-2. But this inning isn't going their way so far. Oh, interesting game. Remember the old picture-in-picture on TVs? Like you can actually watch 2 games at once. I mean, you could do that easily on your computer if you're watching now, but I don't think I want all that confusion. And Frank Mir and Roy Nelson warming up in the back here. They're showing Frank Mir throwing some shots. And then they pop back and start the round early. Those bastards. So Fight Clock will be 10 seconds behind. 4:50. I'm just going to keep you up to date on the time clock. And John McCarthy agreed with me. Gives the round to Mr. Wonderful. Nice low inside leg kick there from Albrektsson. $5 says Mir only takes 3 hits to go to sleep. I think he's losing too, Anthony Harper. Nelson's older though. He's 43, but he's taking a lot of damage. A couple of nice body kicks there from Albrektsson. Low leg kick for Davis. And a left hook up top. Lands from Albrektsson. Albrektsson went for the home run shot on that overhand right, but misses. Karl's really punishing Davis with those body kicks to the right side of his body. Those have got to be adding up. And Davis, the aggressor this round. Albrektsson waiting back and counter punches. And he counters with a big right there and a low leg kick. And Albrektsson kind of seems to be finding his pace here. Left hook from Albrektsson. He's been doing much better since he's made Phil Davis be the aggressor. Right hook to the body for Albrektsson. We'll see if he remembers that or if these guys end up taking turns. Progressing, looping left, misses for Phil Davis, but he's got a leg. He's got a single leg. He's got the left single. Phil's going to try to sweep out the right leg of Albrektsson there, but Albrektsson hooks him up here. Pulls it up. He just needs to turn his hips in, turn his hips to the left. There he does. And he should be able to push him away here. Phil needs the body here. Another knee to the body. Albertson's almost free, and he's free. Back to the center of the cage. Great job from Albrektsson to break that hold. A nice right hand there from Karl. Oh, and Phil Davis catches the body kick that time. He's getting tired of being pelted into the body. Both men fighting from orthodox now. Davis ducks under, misses. Albrektsson punishes him with the left hook. Big right hand from Davis, and he floors Karl Albrektsson. Albertson's back up, but he hit him with a hard shot, and Davis going to go for a takedown now. He's going for the belly to back. Albrektsson really fighting to keep his wrists off him. That was a shot from Davis, though. Davis trying to tie Albrektsson up. Albrektsson defending well here against the takedown. I'm kind of surprised Davis didn't continue to go with the hands there. He's behind Karl here, but still on the feet. And Karl puts a hand down. Can still knee him in the head from there, though. Got to be 2 hands or a knee down. And Davis arms around the stomach there, looking for the belly to back. Like I said, good job of Karl to kick off the fence there, but Davis finally gets him to the ground for a moment. Slams him down. Albertsson's on one foot here. Holds onto the fence there for a minute. Warning from the referee. And he's splitting his weight there. And if Phil's able to put his left leg over the top, he might be able to get hooks in there. He needs to sweep Karl's left leg out from underneath him. And instead he's hooking it. So he's trying to do something different than what I'm doing. Almost like a wrestling. Oh, that was a brutal knee to the back there from Phil Davis. That's got her. Look, oh man, jumps in with another knee on the ground to the back. Those are completely legal. That's not something you see a lot, but those are bad. Those are kidney shots. That really hurt Karl. Oh, and standing, but now Phil gets the knee to the head in the clinch. Karl doing a good job putting his leg in between the feet of Phil here, though, but Davis is a master at getting this takedown here. He's got the right leg of Karl isolated. Got the body lock. Karl's out now, but Karl gives him his back here. Karl's good job of Phil to isolate there so Albrektsson couldn't throw an elbow back. Nice knee to the body from Davis as this round comes to an end. Second round. I had up round 1, but this is actually the second round. So we will be going into round 3. Third and final round here between Phil Davis and Karl Albrektsson. Kind of wanted Houston to win this game to prolong the series, says Pete. All right, I'll see if I end up doing another series game. Probably will. Just got an early birthday present. Brand new coffee maker. Nice. Oh, iced coffee maker? That is awesome. Kind of rare up here. My girlfriend got some of my favorite coffee, Seattle Best. Nice. I didn't know it was rare anywhere, but it's everywhere here, of course. Don't forget Frank broke that one guy's arm. Dude from Brazil. Absolutely did. What's up, Valentin Castorena in the house? How are you? All right. Going to round 3. You see that big right hand on the replay of Phil Davis floored Karl Albrektsson that last round. Yep, back at it again. A little busy right now. Fight is making. I get you. I will be there, Pete. All right. Nice exchange in the center of the cage. Third and final round. Albrektsson gets the head kick through. I think Karl needs a finish here. Nice left there from Phil Davis. Phil Davis' striking is underrated. He's got lightning quick reflexes, even at 35 years old. Inside leg kick lands for Albrektsson. 4:20 left here in the third round. Overhand right attempt there for Karl. Misses. Both guys feint. Nice left hook there for Karl. Right hand to the body from Albrektsson. And John McCarthy has it the same way I do. 2018 Phil Davis. Oh, nice left hand and a right hook lands for Albrektsson. Phil takes it well. Karl has some power, though. Straight left lands for Karl. Front kick to the body. And then a shin kick to the body lands for Phil Davis. Head kick for Davis. Another body kick. He might have Karl hurt here. Keep going back to that body, Phil. Keep on going back to the... Oh, big left hook and an overhand right from Phil. Oh, that was an illegal knee to the head from Phil Davis. Referee did not catch it. That was a flying knee to the head of a downed opponent. Oh, a couple of big hammer fist right hands here from Phil. Phil punishing Albrektsson. I'll have to watch the replay. Maybe his knee wasn't quite down. Maybe I missed it, but I thought he landed an illegal knee. Phil with the back now. Big right hooks and uppercuts on the ground. Phil Davis pouring on the pressure here. Possibly looking for a Darce choke here. Oh, 4 more big right hands there for Mr. Wonderful. On the ground and looking to get the back of Albrektsson. Oh, wow. He's just landing that right hand to the side of the temple unanswered. Now he starts throwing the left. Lands 3 more with the left. And Albrektsson finally up to his feet, but he was punished to get there. Oh, and Davis sweeps his feet out from underneath him again. Great move from Davis. Just continuing this punishment of the ground and pound. About 6-7 more left hands there. Oh, big right elbow over the top for Phil Davis. And hammer fists. Phil Davis about to finish this fight. This referee certainly not my favorite, though. Big elbows from Davis, and that's going to be it. They stop the fight. Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis with the TKO here in the 3rd round. And they're going to hug it out, but great performance from Phil Davis against a tough game opponent. Good stoppage. Probably could have stopped it even a little bit before that, but I'm glad they did. Karl's eyes look a little buggy, to be honest. So I'm really glad they stopped it. All right, and let's go to the chat. I will go back a little bit. 36 people up in here. Everybody, please hit that like button if you like what I do here. Make sure and hit that subscribe button if for some reason you're not already subscribed. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified whenever I go live, like tomorrow for the end of the welterweight tournament, Rory McDonald versus Douglas Lima 2. And then next week, the BMF, Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, or versus Conor McGregor, or versus Justin Gaethje, or versus Tony Ferguson, or fill in the blanks. We're not completely positive, but what I'm pretty much positive about is Jorge Masvidal will be facing somebody for the BMF. Even Kamaru Usman has thrown his name in the hat. Somebody who says his name is now not in the hat is Leon Edwards. There was a rumor online that the UFC had paid him to stay ready. That was not true. That was circulating through Twitter. That was not true. Leon Edwards confirmed today that he made that offer. The UFC didn't take him up on that. He also said he offered to take the fight. But in the chat here, I'll back a little bit. Predator versus Rumble. There's going to be some C4 in the octagon. Everybody make sure, if you haven't already, join Billy's fantasy basketball team. I believe there's only 2 spots left. Nice, says Valentine, is going to the marijuana industry. Oh, what did I miss before you think? Oh, because Rumble enjoyed television and video games and gained a bunch of weight. He doesn't want to wait around. He's going straight for the top. The way he doesn't have to train and lose his hefty boy. I like it. John Jones says he wants a super fight, though. Who gets it? Trevi says McGregor versus Masvidal. Very possible. Hoping Rampage knocks him out, but may the best man win. Always been no, it's not Henderson and Rampage. It's Fedor and Rampage are fighting in Japan December 28th. And there is the champagne on ice. They're showing the champagne and the trophies tomorrow for the welterweight championship. Rory McDonald, Douglas Lima. The winner also gets $1 million. They don't want McGregor to lose just yet. Finn. How can you miss that here? You're watching from TV and the guys there live say, what? Yeah, that referee should have stopped before. That referee sucked. Because I thought Phil Davis landed a knee to the head. I thought he possibly also landed a 12-6 elbow. Well, this is Henderson versus Chandler is the co-main in the Fedor call. Oh, that is incredible. I didn't know that. I don't know if it had been announced when I first seen it was coming. Too bad we wanted more of a fight. We can't let Phil run away with it. About freaking time. That was a long... Oh. So did the Astros escape with the lead, Arcade? Explain Lucy. Not sure. Yeah, what's the score of the game? I guess I could bring it up myself for an update here, but got to get another run. Get back a couple. Of course, Davis is a wrestler, a crotch molester. I love you, Theron. You get the knockout, though. You got the finish. So can't argue with that, though. And Albrektsson landed some big shots. Phil Davis landed bigger ones, though. Astros are winning 4-1. So it might go 2-1. Yep, I see it now. Just came up for me. Anybody been keeping up with the NBA so far? 40 people watching. Main event of the evening coming up. Everybody, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed for some reason. Make sure you ring the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video. Or go live like tomorrow for Douglas Lima versus Rory McDonald for the UFC Bellator welterweight championship. They will be the Grand Prix winner, whoever gets it, and also will get $1 million. So a lot on the line, to say the least. And Paul Daly returns tomorrow. Pretty big card tomorrow, I would say. And they're saying Phil Davis wants a light heavyweight tournament. That would be interesting. All right, guys. This stream sponsored by the Cash App. Check out the Cash App. It is the only debit card with boosts, guys. Every time you buy something, if you buy a cup of coffee from Starbucks, you're going to get $5. You buy you're going to get $1 off as long as it's $2.50 or more. Starbucks, Seattle's best coffee, most major coffee shops, Dutch Brothers, all over the place. Or another great boost that I've used is 10% off of Walgreens. Our family saves a lot of money on that, 10% off from Walgreens. And speaking of boosts, gentlemen, $50 gift card coming your way for the predictions for UFC 244, Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, or whoever else it might be. When you predict the winner of that fight, don't do it now. We'll have it in a video later. And also time of the fight, there'll be a time for it. But for the BMF championship, whoever gets the closest, you got to pick the winner. And then how it finishes, the round, how it finishes will be a tiebreaker. The final tiebreaker, if it's still tied up to that point, will be the time left in the round or time of round. $50 there. And speaking of boosts, like the Cash App, you can get boosts on this. If you get the picks correct, you will get an extra 10% if you go over to Twitter, follow me at FightsWFriends, and retweet my stream. It's up at the top. It's the top thing right now on my profile. retweet that. That's going to get you a 10% bonus if you finish. Also, if you go to Facebook, the Fights of Friends Facebook group, it is closed, but go over there and share the UFC 244 stream. That's going to get you another 10% boost. So if you do win it, you get an extra 20% on the $50 gift card. Too bad Korean Zombie got clipped by that year guy. Elbows, even though it was an interesting thing. Etiquette is piss poor. Yeah, it was an interesting, man. When are the 231 fights? We just had the co-main event. Main event is up next between Roy Nelson and Phil Davis. So any minute, if you're looking to watch along, if you're not already, not only is it on DAZN tonight, for those of you on cable, or some of the streaming services like Sling, it is also over there on the Paramount Network tonight. Basketball League does not cost money, Hemsfreg. Just jump on in. You should at least get a win over me. I don't know much about basketball. I'm not real good, but I'm gonna give it a try. You're welcome, Genius Improviser. Could cost money. Now everyone is getting into it. Big Bird Coffee. If you have that, I have not. Huh. I've had good flavored coffees too. Like, Jamaica Me Crazy. That one's pretty good. Certain hazelnuts that I enjoy, but your original coffee is Seattle's best. Yeah, that's a good choice, Arcade Cast. It's hard to argue with that one, especially, for the price. Much better than Starbucks, in my opinion. I mean, Starbucks is not bad, but it's definitely overrated. Happened in co-main. I was dropping an order off. Co-main, Phil Davis ended up stopping it. Technical knockout in the third round. Landed some big knees, elbows, and a lot of big ground and pound. Referee stopped it. Even probably a little bit of a late stoppage. I show him Frank Mir warming up in the back. For those who haven't seen, when Frank Mir had his shirt off at the weigh-in, he kind of looked like TRT Mir. He looked like he had a little bit of extra going on. So we'll see what happens. It's the heavyweight division. These guys are going to be throwing bombs, and whoever connects, that could be good night. Roy Nelson can take a lot of punishment. I will tell you that, though. I think he takes more punishment. I mean, he's taken some shots in the day. And Roy Nelson, we'll see if he goes for the takedown today. I don't think so. In this one, but maybe he does. Dude, I'm taking the page in that fight. Rampage in that fight. Nice. Against Fedor? That's going to be a great fight. And Jackson said he's going to be facing his favorite fighter when he fights Fedor. He's like, I'm glad I'm back in Japan. Kind of sucks I'm going to be facing my favorite fighter. But you got to do what you got to do. I will not be calling the fights in Singapore. I'm going to be at work. So that sucks. Phil crotch snipped in the desk. He had some good ground and pound, some shots, though. But yeah, a lot of wrestling. Toothless Prophet says, come on, big country. I hear you there, Adam. Definitely would taste better with a touch of Sonics. Nice. Hems Frog joined the Basketball League, which means there's maybe one spot left. Put that link up there if you're still in there, Billy. Put that link up, and we'll see. We might have a full league. Rampage better watch out of the clinch and some knees. Absolutely. I might end up through the ropes like you did against the Axe Murderer. Those were great fights between Rampage and Vanderlei. I think Mir's past the sell-by date as well. think Frank took him down, but Roy won the first fight. These guys have fought before. Oh, Last Emperor's definitely not a pushover. Frank got knocked out when they fought last. Yes, he did. And Frank's coming off a bad win to Javi Ayala, or loss to Javi Ayala. He did not look good at all. Javi Ayala, excuse me. Did not look good at all. Big Country didn't look so bad in his last few fights. He almost went on to the finals. Or would it have been the finals or the semifinals? I can't remember the heavyweight division. Anyways, he had a pretty good last round and a half against Matt Mitrione after he stopped boxing and started taking Mitrione down. Showed he had a big advantage. Thank you, Billy. Showed he had a big advantage in the wrestling over Mitrione. If he would have used it a little earlier, I think he would have won that fight for sure. Earlier in action, Jake Hager fighting. No contest. He landed a knee to the balls of his opponent, and that was all she wrote. Unfortunately, that one didn't end well. But he will be back. Big Country should come out to Karma Chameleon from the Culture Club. Oh, Jesus. That would be crazy. That would be crazy for sure. And guys, with UFC 244 coming up, some people have told me Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, that gives them a little bit of a hard on. That kind of worries me. I'm a little worried about you saying that about two other men. I've seen that on Twitter, but, you know, get it out in the bedroom, guys. Get it out with the girlfriend or the wife. Go 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds with Blue Chew. Blue Chew, very simple. You go on there, they're just going to have a video conference with you for about 15 seconds. One of their doctors will talk to you for about 15 seconds and basically just ask you, hey, can you can you walk a flight of stairs without having a freaking heart attack? If you say yes, there you go. And when you use our code for that, you're going to get 28% off your first order. Guys, you can get in months, you can get 17 of these. It's only $50 for 17 to begin with. It's basically chewable Viagra or Cialis. It's just way, way cheaper and 28% off the $50 for the month. That's going to really, what's that? I haven't even figured it out. That makes it like $30, $32, something like that. That's crazy. Can't put a price on your wife's happiness or your own. Roy Nelson lost unanimously the first fight. What? I'm pretty sure Roy won the first fight with Frank, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Frank knocked him out, I'm pretty sure. Thought Frank beat Roy by decision when they fought in the UFC. Maybe I'm wrong. Huh. Hey, look it up real quick. Is Covington and Trump going to be at the fight? Could it backfire on Trump or Colby? Can Colby? I don't know. I don't think Donald's going to be there. I don't think the president's going to be there. I think there's you got to have way too much Secret Service and stuff. I don't even think, honestly, that they would want him there. Colby melts Juice Man in 3 rounds to travel to the main event coming up here, guys. Frank Mir, Roy Nelson. Oh, and I have it Roy Nelson versus Phil Davis. I need to fix that. Put some respect on Frank's name. former UFC champion, former two-time UFC champion, Frank Mir. You said Frank won the last fight, Tyler? Oh, I stand corrected. You really think Colby can stop that? I think that fight goes to a decision. And Big Roy coming out to Born in the USA. Great song, Bruce Springsteen. I don't like watching fighters with 40 fights. I hear you, the token. I don't like watching fighters when the fighters are over 40. How about that? Oh, and word to the great, the natural Randy Couture. Randy Couture, for those of you who don't know, had a heart attack a couple days ago. He walked out of the hospital on his own accord today. Actually walked home. Said he walked there, he can walk out. That's what a beast he is. Roy Nelson keys to victory. Push to the fence and limit mobility. Land the big right hand. Wow, Frank. Oh, did win by decision. Huh. I really could have swore that Roy won the first one. Oh, huh. I thought somebody on TV had said that. So somebody, that's probably why we're all thinking we're wrong, because I swore I could have, that I heard from a reputable source. I just never looked it up. Which I should have. All right, guys, real quick. Before Frank makes it down to the ring, Grubhub, guys, Grubhub delivers your food, delivers your beer, $12 off your first order of $20 or more. I got to throw the disclaimer out there that I do get compensated either with credits or cash through all sponsorships. Anybody that didn't know that, now you know. Got to make sure and put that out there. Update on Randy Couture is he's out of the hospital. He's in stable condition. He's home. He only spent 2 days in the hospital. He came home, walked home on his own accord. He said he walked to the fight, walked back, and actually I left... I know Randy has been getting inundated probably with messages on messengers, but I did, wish him a speedy recovery and his family. If you want to put your comments on our Facebook page, you can do that. I put a post there, and I am friends with Randy over there. So Frank Mir keys the victory. He's trying to get the damn submission. Not mistaken, I think a honeymoon in Vegas is similar to what Nick... I don't know. Woodley in for a rude awakening if he gets rematched with Usman. Well, I mean, he got destroyed in that fight. Yeah, it is, J-Dig. All right, tell the tape between these two senior citizens now. Frank Mir, 18-3, 40 years old, 6'3", weighed in at 265 3/4. Roy Nelson, 23-17, 43 years old, 6 feet tall, weighed in at 258. Frank Mir will have a 2-inch reach advantage at 75 inches. So we're in the movie yesterday. Nice. Any Beatles fan out there? I suggest you check it out. We will check it out. What's up, Ginzo guy? How you doing? All right, guys. Main event is finally here. Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, 41 of you watching. Everybody, please hit that like button. If you like what I do here, please make sure and hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, help me hit that 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And ring the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live. Roy Nelson, notable wins. Antonio Silva, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, many other big fighters. MMA record of 18-13. Roy Big Country Nelson. And out of the red corner, notable wins over Antonio Silva, Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira, Roy Nelson, Mirko Krokop, Shek Congo, Brock Lesnar. Introducing the former undisputed UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Frank Mir. Referee will be Todd Anderson. Believe I like Todd Anderson. I believe he likes to get guys up when there's not a lot of action going on. I think he's one of those guys that's pretty quick to do that, actually, if I remember right. All right, here we go. Heavyweights, Frank Mir, Roy Nelson. 5 rounds in the heavyweight division. And here we go. Fight! Be amazed if Covington can out-wrestle Usman. I would be too. And Big Country moving forward. He's looking to land that big right, overhand right. Roy looking to line that up on the chin of Mir. Nice left hand there from Roy Nelson. Oh, right uppercut lands for Roy. Roy has very good boxing. Mir has good boxing too. He has, he's quick. He has a good jab. He has power. His chin right now is questionable, given his last couple fights. And I said Frank looked like TRT Frank at the weigh-ins. Now that I'm looking at him, maybe he got a good angle. He does not look to be in the greatest shape now. A couple left hands here from Roy. Mir giving no offense so far. Misses a left there. Way off. And Nelson just looking to set up that bomb. These guys are friends, by the way. Inside leg kick lands for Mir. Left to the body for Roy. And a left hook upstairs. Even though Frank won the first fight, Mir was a favorite coming into this fight. Or, Nelson was a favorite. Coming in. Oh, right hand to the body. Right hook upstairs for Big Country. Big Country stalking Frank now. And Frank's definitely got a beard. Oh, big low leg kick. Frank's been throwing some big low leg kicks on Roy that are bringing up that front leg. Oh, big body kick there from Frank. A knee to the body. Frank's looking really good right now with the kicks. Oh, another huge leg kick from Frank. I mean, he doesn't use those enough. Those are huge. That's lifting Roy's leg up every time. Roy lands a nice inside leg kick there. Big fight IQ from both of these guys. I know Roy in the time has gotten a little, happy with that overhand right, but very intelligent fighter. Left hand up top for Roy, inside leg kick for Roy. And Roy has great takedowns. He gets down there, though. Oh, big right hand to the body from Roy. A big inside leg kick from Frank, and Roy lands the right hook. Roy continuing to move forward. 1-2 lands for Frank. Big low leg kick from Frank again. And Roy starting to show some swelling on that front leg already. 1-2 to the body for Mir. Mir at southpaw. Nelson. Oh! Big left hand and a right hook from Frank Mir. And another big leg kick from Mir. And Nelson's starting to show limited mobility already here in this first round. Another big leg kick from Mir. Right hook from Nelson. Right uppercut. And another right hook lands for Big Country. Left hand lands for Big Country. Country moving forward, but he's got to check those leg kicks. Frank is brutalizing his legs right now. Superman punch attempt from Nelson. That misses, but he lands a big right hook to the body. Roy has really been zoned in on the body of Roy, and Mir lands a spin kick to the body. Oh, nice left hand there from Roy. Both men have shown quite a few wrinkles in their game here in the first round. I said this is a 5-round. I correct, this is a 3-round. Straight left and a right uppercut there for Frank. Second half of this round much better than the first here for Frank, and I think he's winning this round. Some brutal leg kicks, some good boxing. Nice right hand to the body for Roy. Left hook up top for Frank, and Frank lands a body kick. Oh, Roy barely misses that overhand right. Straight left and a right hook there lands for Roy. They exchange left. Frank looking up at the clock. Getting close here to the end of the round. Oh, right uppercut and a right hook lands here for Roy. Roy moving forward last few seconds of the round. And that is going to be the end of the round. Pretty good round for both guys. I gave it to Mir, though. Imagine the martial arts of today can film a good fight sequence with a holograph for Bruce Lee. Lee was pretty damn good. Bruce Lee would get worked by mid-level good practitioners today. Roy is still fat as hell. Nothing's changed, Haderade. Throw them in the ring at once. Big Roy could lose some weight, although he doesn't train. He doesn't train his cardio. He does train everything else. It's not like he doesn't train. He just likes to eat and he doesn't like to run. Both of those things are issues for fighters. You know, you got to train, you got to eat well, you got to run. Or you're going to have some issues in this game. You're going to walk around with a big beer gut and get popped. All right, guys. Round 2 is here. Mir lands a straight right to start the second round off. Oh, Mir going for the head kick. Misses. 45 people watching already. Please hit that like button if you like what I do here. And both men standing in the center of the cage. Big left for Frank. Right hook lands for Roy Nelson. Right uppercut for Mir. These guys exchanging big shots here. Big head kick from Frank. Roy throwing some wild shots here. He's losing his discipline. Missed a overhand right and a right back fist there. Left hook lands for Roy. Roy just needs to tighten his game up. Big straight right there lands for Big Country, though. So I think he needs to throw more straight shots on Mir. I don't know if he's going to land those looping shots. Nice low leg kick there from Frank. And Roy ducks under Frank's shots there. Nobody getting anything, though. Kind of like to see Roy go for the takedown here. Roy's jiu-jitsu actually is very underrated. I think he would, stand his own here with Frank. Big left hook from Roy Nelson. And I believe Roy beat Frank in a jiu-jitsu match, if I'm not mistaken. Nice body kick there from Frank. And Roy's saying he got me low, but he walks around for a few seconds. He says, I'm good. I don't need a timeout. Just give me a few steps. One thing you got to say about both these guys is they are definitely warriors. A couple more big knees to the body there from Frank. Oh, big low leg kick there from Frank. And Roy shoots for the first time. Frank with good takedown defense there. And Mir looking much better than his last couple of outings. Maybe the time off has really done him good. Roy up to 43 years old now. Nice left hook there from Frank Mir and a big low leg kick there from Mir. Oh, head kick lands for Frank and a left hook up top. And Roy has got a hell of a chin. Sometimes it can be his detriment, though, because he knows he can take big shots and he'll just continue to come forward and take two to give one. And that is not good for the, your future after your career. I don't want to see these guys walking around, with brain damage. Oh, nice 1-2 there from Mir. And I will get caught up with the comments in between rounds here, guys. Go ahead and keep blasting them out there and chatting among yourself. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just paying attention to the fight. Big overhand right. Misses again for Roy. He tries to bring the back fist behind it, but that misses as well. Straight right lands for Frank, who's working from the southpaw position. Big right uppercut for Roy Nelson. Big left for Frank Mir, and both guys' chins hold up. Roy got some blood coming out of the nose here. Nice left there for Roy. Another big leg kick there from Frank. On those, he needs to throw his leg kicks in every fight. Those are brutal. Left hand there from Roy Nelson. And Frank Mir looking like Pedro Hizzo out here with the leg kicks. And he floors Roy Nelson with that leg kick. Drops him to a knee. Almost floors him again. Roy can barely stand on that front leg right now. Frank could finish this with leg kicks. If Roy doesn't switch to southpaw or do something, he can barely stand on his front leg. And let's see what Frank does here. Yeah, Roy just wincing in pain every time he steps forward on that front left leg. Oh, and another big leg kick there from Mir and a spinning body kick. Roy lands the right hand afterwards, though. Frank can't turn. He can't turn his back to Roy. Right uppercut from Roy and an overhand right afterwards. What's up, Haterade 9? I think Frank's winning. Nice right hook for Roy Nelson. Overhand right for Frank Mir. Good exchanges here, though. Nice left there for Roy. Roy needs... Oh, another big leg kick there from Frank. Big right hook there from Roy, though. He might have hurt Frank there. Roy moving forward, misses the right hook there, and Frank lands a left hook. Good head movement there from Frank at the end. Ducks under an overhand right. And that's going to be the end of the second round, friends. Another good round from Frank Mir, who is just destroying Roy Nelson's legs. I'm surprised he can even walk at this point. Come on, Frank, Ordinary Pete. Theron says, we think it's tied right now. Didn't Karatanov knock Roy out? I believe he did. Big boy Roy, all he needs to do is build... build shop that last meal. Yep, Mir winning. I got Mir up 2-0. All right, guys. Final round of this fight. Frank Mir, Roy Nelson. What was that movie with... Oh, Swayze bounce. I'm not sure. Frank looked like he's on TRT. No, he doesn't. Actually, Haterade 9. I thought that at the weigh-in originally, but must have been a good angle for him. Here we go. Third and final round. He's on BLT. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Frank's got a big gut out here. Not as big as Roy's, but... Oh, big low leg kick there from Frank. Frank is just destroying Roy Nelson's front leg. Another big leg kick. Head kick there for Frank. Roy blocks that one. Roy looking forward, but he's really telegraphing that right hand. Another big left leg, big low leg kick there from Frank. James says TRT. All right, 48 people watching. Everybody, please hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're new here or not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live. like tomorrow for Roy McDonald versus Diego Lima, the welterweight Grand Prix final, welterweight championship on the line, as well as $1 million. Low leg kick lands for Roy. Now he's finally going with the leg kicks. Needs to start checking leg kicks. Oh, another big leg kick from Mir, but big left hook from Roy. And I think he caught Roy low. Roy saying he caught him low. Let's see here. Oh, he definitely caught him right under the sack. That was a bad low leg kick. Shin right into the nuts. And that's going to screw up our clock, of course. Why Roy not dodge kick? Because he's fat. I think that's the simple answer. Because he's fat and he's not a real athletic guy. He's got a big right hand. Good wrestling, good fight IQ. Reflexes are not his friend, though. Hope Franks wins, says Travis Smith. And Todd Anderson telling Frank Mir he's going to let Roy work through it. He'll get him started. Roy definitely has the better chin. All right, here we go. And they touch gloves back to the center of the gates. These guys are both good friends. For those that didn't know. 3:20 left in the fight. 8 years ago, Frank Mir defeated Roy Nelson by decision. Today, Frank Mir, I believe, probably ahead on the scorecards after 2 rounds. Low leg kick lands for Frank. Nice left hand for Mir. Big 1-2 for Frank Mir. Roy throwing that right uppercut but misses. Straight right lands for Frank. Low leg kick lands for Roy. Frank comes back with a low leg kick, but the overhand right lands for Roy Nelson. And Frank Mir's chin has seen better days. If Roy can land a couple big shots, he could end this night. Nice left hook there from Franco. Nelson hoping that one big overhand right can turn his night around for him. And there he lands a big right hand right on the chin of Mir. Oh, nice left hook from Mir, right hook from Nelson. Roy needs to start throwing some more feints, doing some different things though, throwing the straight right, throwing the uppercut, doing something besides just telegraphing that overhand right. Misses the right hook again there for Roy. Big 1-2 from Mir, and there Nelson lands the right uppercut underneath. But he's running out of time. Roy needs a knockout here. Minute 40 left in this fight. Another low leg kick from Mir. Right hand for Nelson. Left hook up top, and Mir's starting to breathe heavy here. Big right hook for Roy. Mir might be running out of gas here. And Mir looking up at the clock there. Mike Goldberg saying Frank Mir looks fresh. I could not disagree more. He is huffing and puffing, blood coming out of that nose. Nice left hand there for Mir. Right uppercut from Nelson. Frank's got a decent cut. Looks beat up. He definitely does. What's up, Sohan Gokyo? How you doing? Another big left low leg kick for Frank Mir. Stick around at the end of this fight. We'll have an update on Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. Oh, the drama for UFC 244. Plus, I'll tell you how you can win a $50 gift card during the UFC 244 stream. Both guys exchange left hooks. Oh, big 1-2 there for Roy, and a right hook to the body for Roy. $50 Amazon gift card given away during the UFC 244 stream. And Roy's running out of time. Picks up Frank and slams him. Where was that earlier in the fight? Big elbows here from Roy. And Mir bleeding all over the place, but time is running out. And I have this 29-28 Frank Mir. I gave Roy the first round, but I thought Frank won the next two pretty convincingly. It is Bellator. Time, sorry, J-Dig, round's over. I mean, Captain America just had a heart attack. What is our main man from UFC, Randy Couture? Yeah, he is at home, luckily, though, there, Nelson. Just 2 days in the hospital, walked out under his own power. Walked home, actually. He lives pretty close to the hospital. Walked himself there when he had the heart attack from the gym. Walked himself home afterwards. And they're saying he made a full recovery. Good to see Captain America doing well again. Kimbo died a few years ago. Are you talking about the fight Gimzo guy? He almost died in a fight. Roy whopped Kimbo. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, I see what you're saying. Talking about his Roy and Kimbo's fight. Well, thank you, Pete. Roy definitely won the third, though. That's how I have it. Roy's ground game is boring. Satyr 9. Randy spoke of a pain, but he is a tough guy. He doesn't relate well to pain and had a heart attack. Didn't even know it. Not surprising. Always wanted to see Randy versus Frank when they were in the UFC. Yeah, I don't think they ever fought, did they, J-Dog? That would have been a good one. I mean, Roy fought Frank's arch nemesis. One of his nemesis is Tim Sylvia. But, of course, Randy won the heavyweight championship from him. Official decision coming up here, guys. And like I said, don't go anywhere because we're going to have an update on UFC 244, Masvidal and Nate Diaz. And then I'm going to tell you how you can win a $50 Amazon gift card. All three see it 29-28. Winner by unanimous decision. Frank Mir. And apparently a few of us can score fights because I had it the same way. You guys had it the same way. Bellator needs 5-round. I'm not sure you want to see a 5-round main event between a 40 and a 43-year-old, though. Frank moves to 19-13. Kind of hard to believe he has only won 19 fights in his career. As long as he's been fighting. Remember, he had a motorcycle accident, though. Motorcycle injury. He had some pain. Top of the 9th. Let's go, Astros. Damn, that game's still going, Arcade. God, those guys play forever. Is that going on like 4 hours? Got a large bag of sour diesel. You know the New York sour diesel. Never heard of it. Yeah, I had Mir by decision too. Just put on the baseball game. Ordinary Pete. Fight is dragging on. Well, all right. Fight is over. Let's talk about UFC, 244. The fight for the baddest mother on the planet. And we had some issues, of course, this week with Nate Diaz. For anybody that hasn't heard it yet, we're going to talk about that. But UFC 244 East versus West for the BMF belt to see who is the baddest mother effer in the world. And I have West Coast Nate Diaz if the fight happens. God forbid it doesn't happen, but check this out. This was the tweet from Nate Diaz yesterday. Yesterday, 2:44 p.m. His time. I'm going to read it to you guys off my phone. I know it's hard to read there, but he said, I'm not going to make it out to NYC for fight week next week because they say I tested with elevated levels that they say might be from some tainted supplements. I call false on that because I only take whole food or natural food supplements. I don't even eat meat. So until UFC, USADA, or whoever is effing with me fixes it, I won't be competing. I'm not going to play their game, and I try and hide it or keep it quiet, as they suggested. So Nate Diaz says they're telling him they're saying he told them basically to lie about it. I'm not going to have my name tainted as a cheater like these other MNFers who keep quiet until after the fight just so they can get paid. Effing cheaters. I don't give a F about some money over my dignity and my legacy. I'm not playing along with this BS. Not going to stay quiet and figuring it out after the fight. That's cheating. So fight game, I'll see you when I see you. Sincerely, the realest, baddest MFer in the game. I don't believe for a second that Nate Diaz did anything purposely wrong. I mean, I don't know how this test came out like this. I definitely don't believe that he, took testosterone or steroids or any kind of drugs. Mir, Lesnar, Jones, and DC are the greatest rivalries. They were good, man. Chael should have fought them. He would have lost to both of them, I think, though. He wasn't a true heavyweight. Chael was a middleweight. Remember that? That ended up fighting at light heavyweight at times, and then even heavyweight when they asked him. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in, Christopher Collins. Working inside of the plate. Who won, Nelson? Mir won unanimous decision. No, Nate and Jorge are the real BMF. Anything else is a joke. I agree. So here is the update to that for those that didn't see it, though. So Nate tweeted about an hour before this show started. So around 5 o'clock Pacific, or a little before, or a little after, excuse me. Nate had tweeted at Dana White, at UFC, at ESPN, at ESPN MMA. Clear my name or I ain't doing S. And he immediately had removed it, but not before 6,400 people had already liked it, 1,800 people had retweeted it, and then a bunch of comments there. Brett Okamoto. Give him credit for finding that before it disappeared from the internet. Oh, yeah, one more for the Fantasy League. Throw that link out there one more time, Billy. And how you can win $50 in stream, guys, for UFC 244. I will be giving away this $50 Amazon gift card. And how you're going to win it is there'll be a future video, and there'll be a time during the live event to do this. But don't give me your picks yet. Or if you give them to me now, give them to me later too. But if you pick the winner of the main event, whoever it ends up being, if it's Nate and Jorge, or if it's Jorge and somebody else, pick the winner, the way the fight's finished, the round, the way the fight's finished will be the first tiebreaker, and then if it goes down to the last tiebreaker is going to be the time. If you guys both have all of that. Big fat man Roy Nelson says they aren't opposed to the post-fight scrap. I think that's where it could be where it could have gotten the idea for sure. Oh, absolutely. Genzo guy says Khabib. But $50 during that stream. And if you want to get bonuses, there are boosts to this. Just like the Cash App has boosts, we have boosts. If you go over to Twitter, follow me at FightsWFriends, and retweet my top tweet about the stream. If you win, it's going to add a 10% boost to your fight purse. Yes, you get a fight purse if you pick the winner. $50 gift card, you're going to get a 10% boost. If you retweet that over the top, you get another 10% boost if you share my post over on Facebook. You don't even have to be part of the group. Just share it on Facebook and send me proof of it. somewhere on here, on Twitter, wherever, I'm going to give you another 10% boost so you can get up to 20% on top of the 50. I'm going to do Bellator, not doing... What's up, Boxing MMA 365, by the way? I'm not doing the UFC. I will be at work during that time because its main card is 5 a.m. my time. But I will do Bellator tomorrow night. Diego Lima and Rory McDonald. Welterweight championship on the line. The last fight of the welterweight tournament. Tim Sylvia had some knock knee funky stuff going on with that guy. That's funny. I've had enough heart issues. Let's keep it simple. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah, that sucked. Like I said, still prayers out to Randy Couture. He has left the hospital on his own accord. For those that don't know, Randy had a heart attack a few days ago. Walked himself to the hospital after he had it. Today he walked his way out. Houston Astros versus who? Oh, that is great there. Bottom of the ninth, one out. Astros and Nationals. Interesting. All right, 35 people watching. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button already, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, I think it's all the veterans in here, but hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live like tomorrow for Rory McDonald versus Diego Lima. And I want to get some people's thoughts about things, though. Now that the fight's over, we can talk about this. I know some people have some thoughts about this Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz things. What do you guys think is going to happen? So I'm going to ask you, do you think the fight will happen, first of all? And then second, if Nate Diaz is not able to make it, who would you like to see and who do you think the UFC would put in that spot to take over for Nate Diaz? I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on both of those things. Yeah, interesting World Series. Theron, Comedic Genius says yes. 2 outs. Are you watching baseball, Comedic Genius? I'd be surprised. No. Hate pop-ups. Yep. All right. I'm going to say the Astros are going to end up winning that one. We'll see, though. Yeah, I hope so, because I'd like to see a few more games, too. One more out, and we're back in this piece. All right, guys. I have had the request. Really want to see D versus Diaz versus Masvidal. Oh, I hope they make it happen there. I really hope they do. I've had some requests recently, guys, for the ability to call in more on the show. And every time I open this up, it doesn't really seem like anybody ever calls in. But I am definitely going to open it up. So anybody that wants to call in, you can call me on Skype. The Skype is fightswithfriends@gmail.com. Or you can type in to send me a request on there. It's going to be live. Fights with friends. So that is the Skype name. Anybody want to Skype in or call in? Give me a call. I'll keep that open for a little while. Anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk about Diaz versus Masvidal. We can talk about Conor, who you think Conor will fight for his first fight back. We can talk about, whatever you guys want to talk about. And talk about the World Series if you want to. But yeah, fights with friends at gmail.com. You should be able to send me a request from that, or live fights with friends on Skype. Yeah, call in, comedic. Talk about Harvey's Wi-Fi. You know, Justin likes to help people. Oh, Justin, real deal, not Dustin. Justin. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the build is kind of stupid, but I love the fight. Just a real guy. He's not married. Doesn't have to worry about some non-profit organization. Worried about his kids. Yeah, that guy is freaking awesome. Oh, talk about Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje is too much for Conor, too. All right. That's the game. The Houston Astros. Congratulations to the Houston Astros. Winning game 3. That series now 2-1 in favor of the Nationals. All right, Arcade. I will see you next time, sir. Thank you again for coming in. Thank you for the donation. Thank you to all our donators tonight. CJ Smet, PBR Street Gang, and Arcade Chaos. With the super chats. Always appreciate my superstars of Super Chat. Remember to get your name up in the lights in this stream or a future stream. Just donate in that Super Chat spot and you will be recognized for your patronage. Justin would destroy Conor. I agree that too in a heartbeat. Didn't you see what he's been doing? Oh, dude's an animal, dude. Yeah, Conor's got a shot against anybody because he has very good boxing. He has a good right hand. But I definitely agree with you there, Theron Nelson. I don't think Conor would have the biggest shot in that fight. I could just see him eating a few of those leg kicks, and that would be devastating for him. Absolutely devastating. All right, guys. Tomorrow, don't forget tomorrow, Diego Lima. My email is fightswithfriends@gmail.com, Boxing MMA. And I'll put it there in the... in the comments. Yeah, but tomorrow, let me get a time for you on Bellator. Rory McDonald, Douglas Lima. This welterweight tournament's been going on for a little while. There's been some great fights in it, but it'll finally end tomorrow. There's some good fights. Nick Newell fights tomorrow. I said it was today. It's actually tomorrow. Thank you, boxing. Thank you, Boxing MMA. Nick Newell, the one-arm man, fights tomorrow versus Manny Muro. Baby Slice, Kimbo Slice's son, takes on Craig Campbell. Patrick Mix, this kid is entertaining. He is 11-0 at bantamweight, closing in on a title shot, I believe, versus Isaiah Chapman. Vitaly Minikov will take on Javi Ayala. That a big heavyweight fight. Co-main is going to be Sadawad versus Paul Daly, the return of Simtex, and then the main event, Roy McDonald versus Diego Lima. Great card for sure. If no one's calling in, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, guys. Hey, thank you everybody so much for tuning in on this Friday night. Roy Nelson versus Frank Mir. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for Diego Lima versus Roy McDonald. Catchweight fights a lot on Bellator tomorrow. Oh, catchweights, yep. Justin would not demolish Connor, bro. Hater89. All right, I would love to see the fight. Hater89. I would love it to be a great fight and prove me wrong. All right, guys. Thank you again. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see you fine asses later.